I'm tagging it to the house.
Yeah, point.
Go ahead. Okay, last time. On the broken bottles. Having perilously braved what was first the city innards of the Rasha capital of the Lurasha kingdom, you left on behest of Varix and yourselves with haste across the countryside, now breathing in the incredibly lush, vibrant, very close to like the Fey-Wild level mysticism that was the countryside. Beautiful weeping willows and cherry blossoms bloomed, lavenders and lilacs could be found just in random shrubbery, growing wildly on the countryside. The landscape itself was pretty level. Some rolling hills and bunches of trees that made the traversion slightly enjoyable, but not difficult. However, at the same time, taking in this beauty, you saw what loomed overhead. What you presumed to be standing directly above Therilin, a city that you had passed in ages time before, now sat a rift in the sky, almost a byproduct of what was actually occurring below it within the city. As you traversed, you made your way through the countryside and learned that whatever was pouring out of this rift had been affecting the wildlife and the people from within. You came across individuals from a recent battle battalion that had set up camp to recuperate for the evening. That gave you a little bit more information, and also
They were also gigantic dickheads.
We're desperate for your assistance. However, due to the severity and importance of your task at hand, you decided that it was best left to continue on your path, hopefully providing respite in the future for them if you were to be successful. Traveling further north/northeast along this kind of winding curve that hugs the coast, you saw it. Beautiful Stellarum Academy, the singular spire made of marble, chiseled stone, and granite that just on the middle of the floating island it is on, almost piercing the heavens above it. Hijinks ensued. You assaulted, behind Verax, the innards
Okay, what?
of
We
the...
assaulted behind Verax.
What was that word choice, man?
I don't know, man. You're reading into it. Walking through both the lobby of the academy straight into what you would later learn to be the council meeting chamber. A pocket in space, whether it just be an illusion or really in a different location. A place otherworldly, to put it easily. It seems that there was some tension in the council, and after not much of a negotiation, more so of a command, and for the first time really showing his strength, Verax put his foot down. He shunned the crowd and continued on his mission with just utter sheer faith that the blood of that deity that you had procured would be enough to rectify the ailment that befell the Skullkeeper. And due to sheer luck, whether it be a miracle or precise calculations, he arose. Precise.
Dude, nothing we did was calculated. We literally just marched into nothingness.
But did it work?
Let's try the Kool-Aid.
Let's try the bullet. So, Jerigar, the Skullkeeper, which is a Winter Eladrin, as you later learned, arose, and you found yourself in a deep discussion about what to do next. Hunting his perpetrator, who was revealed to be Khazard, a great archmage that was part of the council, who believed under Jerigar's thought, on accident, he didn't even assume that was her, thought she may be tied to some old scripture he had found regarding a demi-lich and a lich cult underneath the earth in the Underdark, or the material realm. After a hard-fought battle and a hunt, the Archmage was slain. The victory being yours for the day, happy about what had come to pass, now finally leaving it behind you. Your year-long trek to save Verax and picking up an ally in his stead, coming to a close. A banquet was held in your honor, knowing that the future is uncertain in these lands, and that for the first time, the lands of Aeltirin are more torn than ever. War rages, a rift beacons open, the northern kingdoms of the Graventar, uncooperative and vacant, due to whatever is happening there. The Ziegman Kingdom relying on themselves and not reaching outside help. The Siberian Concord cutting trade treaties with both Todalair and alike. The world seemed to be teetering on the edge of peril. You described these conversations with Verax, Jerigar, and Dominus at the table of the banquet, and that is where you find yourself. Just now, off the edge of discussions of the Zunith Z, where to ally with the war, what is the proper way to assess the rift and where to go to next, and possible help for the people of Elistray. Jerigar has just recently departed after learning of the Zunith Z. He seemed to want to go pick up notes or maybe scribe something. He, for a man who's overall pretty calm, got very jumpy at the idea of the Zunith Z capital being located, and had, as of yet, left. So you find yourselves now at this table of 6 total. You 4, Verax, and Dominus.
So, like, whenever he said the Gravitar Dominion doing its own thing, I just pictured the I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Like they're just digging holes all day. They're like, fuck all that noise. We're just gonna keep digging.
Can I...
Hilarious. in my
Digging
head.
and drinking.
Yeah.
Can I look for the librarian?
Can you what?
Can I look for the librarian?
Yeah, you want to leave the table?
Okay.
Yeah. You stand and you basically follow in Jerigar's steps because that is the same direction that he is heading. You would know at this point how to get to the Grand Archive.
As I get up, can I take the map? Alright, take the map with me.
Yeah. You take it.
You don't have to pull it
It's
out.
also in front of you.
Pull it out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pull it out. I
Yeah.
take the map with me.
Okay.
I'm a physical learner.
And
We're just gonna do it for fun.
Okay, sure.
I'm a visual
Listen,
learner.
dude.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
made
yeah.
it, and it looks sick.
Yeah, I did have it printed. I think I had to print it twice. Once for you too, right? You have that shit somewhere?
I was gonna hang it up on the wall.
Yeah. I gotta hang that one up.
Once we're done, we still use that.
can we all... I'll pitch in money to get that thing.
It costed like $7. Yeah, I could have 100 of them printed. I don't know.
I
Well, that's
more than
$700.
I wanna
What?
go- I want to hang one of mine, too. Anywho's.
You have the map. Here you go.
Yeah, anywho's. You follow in Jerigar's footsteps. You see now, like, when the adrenaline kind of wears off, because it was a really fast-paced ending of the session, so I'll kind of revisit some things, right? You see that his, like, body posture is quite small. He's a very lengthy person for his body, like, type. He's probably, like, 6'5", but he has maybe 150 pounds on total. Very thin person. Yeah. He doesn't look like he's like this is gonna be a horrible description, like a basement dweller or anything. Like he doesn't look frail and old. He just doesn't have muscle mass. He's an intellectual scholar. He doesn't.
Yeah.
It's very obvious that he probably hasn't left those chambers even voluntarily before his illness for quite some time. Otherwise, after about 10 minutes of meandering through the pathways, he kind of looks back and sees you following. And is like, oh, cool. Otherwise, you find yourself in the Grand Archive, which is now mostly empty due to the banquet. The librarian gnome is there. He says, "Oh!" He like closes a giant fucking tome.
I open the map up and I point over here. And I'm like, do you have anything on islands that are over in this direction?
Islands. Yes, I can take a look at that. Yes, please. Please.
You're gonna get a kid's poem on this fucking guy.
Probably. You got a children's book?
Yes.
No.
So off the west coast, I guess. I mean, quite. Yes, absolutely. There's no one better to ask but myself. I would love to have sister. Please give me but a moment, please.
Oh, and if you by any chance see the name Semiwana.
That's his name. Rings. Is this a king? Can you give me something to go off?
A deity.
A deity? Oh, of course. Well, yeah, absolutely. Do you know which pantheon that may be prescribed to?
An old forgotten.
That's fine. I will do my best to find something for you. Absolutely. Give me about a moment. So he goes off, and as he's doing this, Jerigar now is like in here. He does grab a couple other tomes on himself, by himself, I should say. Fills up a little cart, and he is he's a magical deity. So as he starts piling and the weight kind of gets heavy, he just has to float behind him, and then he soon ascends.
Like out of the room.
Up that sterile staircase that's in the center that leads to his chamber.
Jerigar?
Yeah.
I pull out the map. Whatever. Do Do you know anything at all about islands off to the west?
Off the coast.
Yeah.
Well, of course, there's many landmasses that are,
One that would be home to Senor
as we discussed, the home of which what deities may have reign and dominion of the people that live there, unfortunately, is very rarely transcribed, at least in foreign, Western ideologies of our scholarly articles. Anything that is outside the Eroterin itself is usually a byproduct of lucky research trips and excavations and expeditions. But I know of a couple islands off the western section that at least were inhabited. The Varelia Islands is a stretch of medium-sized, civilized, I should say. There was life there, at least in what I read regarding what was there. But again, I do digress. It is not within the kingdom of Eltarin, so this is second-hand accounts of what sailors may have embarked on, perhaps going to the town of Tribeca in the south, or the slave colonies.
Would you know of a way of travel, whether it be through teleportation or dimensional means of getting to a place that hasn't been teleported to? I understand that our teleportation works, as in we have planted a seed there, and we can teleport to there.
That type of travel is beyond dangerous. I'm not an expert in the field, but teleportation blindly can lead to catastrophic outcomes. There is always the option to believe that you are powerful enough to pinpoint a location based on an image in a book, and it has been done before. But things require great archmages who have studied the magics for tens, hundreds of years. And even then, sometimes they land 100, 200 miles off their mark. To be impaled, falling off of a mountainside, or drowned in the ocean. There are many accounts of these in these walls.
Thank you, Jared.
I apologize. I was not able to offer more.
Oh, no apologies. And I'm gonna head back to the thing.
As you're walking out, the guy goes, I found it! I found it! And he puts down a giant book. He goes, the Varelia Isles, right off the western coast. I myself have not been there, but I have found a couple second-hand accounts of sailors who had docked there or moored there due to bad, trepidatious winds.
When do you need this back?
Take your time, whenever it's convenient.
Okay. And I put it in my bag.
You say that with an okay. You're not getting these back ever.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
A friend of Jeragars, a friend of mine.
That he's the one that made the wand, right? Or he's the
No,
one that
the dwarf made the wand.
the dwarf made.
This
I'm
was
gonna
the
ask
guy that answered all your questions the first time you were here when
And he brought
everyone
up
was
that
like,
fucking big
you
books.
all wrote down a list of shit that you wanted to learn about.
Yeah.
That was that guy.
Okay.
He's a gnome, small little goofball with like a huge headgear of fucking glasses.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
And you guys really pissed him off the first time because you were like acting like he didn't know.
Fucking happy.
You guys were like, that's not right. And he's like, I've devoted my life to this. What do you mean it's not right? I will find you the books. And you're like, well, actually, I read on Wikipedia.
Well, I give him thank you, give him thanks, and I make my way back to the dining hall.
Yeah, you pocket these. It is two separate books that he had given you. The first one seems old, and it doesn't seem like a gilded book in the sense that like it was transcribed, written, and then rewritten like after the draft was done and like bundled. It is by all means like a piece of rawhide with parchment that someone had scrawled, and what is in it is like ink that was scrawled at the time. Yeah, it's more than a journal, but less of a biography account, if that makes any sense. Like something like a captain of a ship would keep, or a squire to the king, like personal notes for their career, if that makes any sense. It's very articulous, very descriptive, but very old, and definitely a first draft. Like it is the original that was made. The second book is clad. Both of them aren't titled. They seem to be like in that same form of it was like made for the purpose of being used in that moment for whoever had these commissioned. The second one at least. But it is ironclad. I don't know why I keep using that. It is clad in leather, and it does look stamped, fitted, and bound like a normal book would. So you pocket both of those. You have those on your person. Whenever you want to look into those, you just. As you return, Dominus and Verex have been deep in conversation with the lot of you. You see now their kind of minds begin to finally show, for the first time since you've actually been around them, the difference in personality. You have Dominus, this very stern, very by-the-book, rule set, like, this is how it has to be, it's how it's been for generations. Compared to Verex, who's like, this is how it has to be, because I fucking said so. That's why it has to be this way. I know more than you do, I've been here forever. But, you know, you've seen him on his travels, he's been genuinely quite open, quite kind, quite,
Yeah.
he takes consideration from people who even might not know as much as him. And that's happened in your travels as well. So they have these, like, Dominus is like, we should articulate and plan exactly how we would like to assess the rift. And he's like, well, I feel like we should help. I don't see why we should not. And Dominus is like, well, of course we're going to help, Verex, but how? And he says, what do you mean how? We do. We do.
Do the thing.
And they're not bickering, like they're eating and they're taking drink and they're trying to enjoy what should be this banquet. But it's definitely overplagued by a feeling of tension due to what you have discussed. There is a moment where they drop back into this very hushed whisper, loud enough for you guys to hear. It's not to like be secretive, it's more so like whispering out of convulsion, out of worry, when they begin talking about Aurelian again. About what it implies that he had left his perch, that he left the range, and what that means for the world. And whenever this comes up in conversation, they, even more than the rift, it seems to hold a pretty fierce grip on them, whether it's fear, like tension, stress, anxiety, or even just despair. Seems to be some very palpable, like, that's a thing. And how do we approach that?
That means Lucas made it.
Does closing this rift maybe send him back home?
Are you asking? We'll say you return to the banquet hall.
Oh, I thought he did.
Yeah, you can. Verex stops, and before he can open mouth, Dominus turns. He goes, maybe.
What other than what's going on at your home? I don't know what else is happening in the Golden Mountains.
Nobody knows what's going on there.
Well, for a being of that power to leave its home for any reason, usually, it does not always mean what is happening now, and that is where my fear lies.
What are reports that have been going on in Golden Mountains?
Well, we don't have too many research scribes. We have a couple archaeology people in the Undercross underneath Kinrock who have done some research. But as they've reported that aside from Khaz'Daral being closed for as many years as it has, nothing really has happened of note in the Golden Mountains. But dragons of that age and that power, they do not live in the same way that we view time. For all we know, this rift could be a simplistic thing for him, something that means oh so little. And he is instead leaving his perch to prepare for something on the horizon. Something we have yet to foresee. And that brings me great worry. Goddamn idol. You are a loud motherfucker.
That's the storm giant walking out the hall.
He is in this room with you guys. I think he was a cloud.
He gets
Cloud storm
seconds.
giant.
Some giant.
He was a big.
Has there been a single Goliath in this building?
Not that you've seen.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there isn't, but not that you've seen.
Damn, bro. We
Come
even
see,
saw an Eric Cochran in here before we saw a Goliath.
Dude,
Yeah, I see an Eric Cocker all the
Our
time.
people don't do magic. I am
At
one
least
of a
not
kind.
often. Yeah, at least not often.
There's druids.
I see an Eric
That's
Cocker
why-
every day.
What druid?
Goliath druids.
Oh, man.
She's humble.
You see one.
Is she?
Idol.
Yeah, because there was the
I don't.
yeah.
Idol.
I don't.
Stop being a bitch.
So
I was like, I'm literally just loving.
from what I remember about asking, oh god, I have so many fucking questions, but I don't remember them. But I remember asking
about the thing that I need to cast that one spell.
Yes, he said after the banquet he could
And
look
he
into getting
said-
that commissioned and or figure it out. They'd have to talk to the man who made your wand.
Yeah. I want to talk to that guy again. That
Sure.
guy, I fucking owe him one for sure.
You asked to talk to the Arakakra.
And yeah, I asked to talk to that guy. I wanted to ask Verax
I want
something.
the right like music for this. It's just supposed to be like chill. Fuck it, we're doing this. Fuck it.
So we went to kill what's her face in the basement.
Bitch tits McGee.
Bitch Tits McGee.
He says,
That's her name.
Kazaa, yes.
She was hooting and hollering about how like the magic I'm doing isn't any different than the magic that Verax is doing. Why would she say that? What's the deal with that?
Roll me persuasion check.
Like, why would she? That's so weird to me that she would say that. I don't know. I hope I don't roll like shit. I'm worried. I did not roll like shit. 25.
25. His brow gets a little stern as his, eyebrows kind of purse together. And he leans in and he goes, well, and before he can speak, Verax pipes, he goes, I'm not one to pull the wool over an ally's eyes. Many of the magics I have procured over my years, some of them are taboo. I have an elongated lifespan for a mere human mortal.
I mean, we've talked about that.
There is always a yin and a yang, a give and a take with any form of magic. As someone as talented as you, I'm sure you've seen it. However, I can assure you that my sustained living, though it is soon to come to an end, does not derive itself from cultist and or lich-like magic practice. I do not sever my soul from my body, nor do I rely on the life force of others to sustain. I simply have employed many years of expertise to slow my aging to the best of my ability, with help from Dominus.
I mean, I'm by no means saying there's something weird going on. I know you pretty well at this point, so I just thought it was interesting that in that moment of like she's in a life or death fight, she threw your name out there like it was something important.
Some will do anything to explain away or divulge guilt onto another, given their bad practice and choice. I would. But I don't even remember. He talked about him not being a lich. Law XD.
Yeah. And I was like, I wasn't really worried about that. I just thought it was funny. I thought it was, weird.
Well, these are weird times.
Man. Yeah.
So, Zuna Z.
Indeed, yes. Jeragas seems awfully, this is Don speaking, awfully piqued at that interest. I'm sure you will put together something. Research, at least.
What do you say the odds are that might be like, some sort of answer to what's going on around here?
An answer?
Yeah.
Unlikely. A solution, maybe, but above all, it's a trove of ancient arcane knowledge. Could do no harm.
Well, potentially, I guess.
I don't mean to state the obvious one more time. We are doing our best to assist where we can, but we are not soldiers.
No.
This isn't our fight. Still, we will take on responsibility to assist in it, but even if we wanted to, we do not have battalions of battle mages ready to storm the gates.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just
Our
saying.
efforts are best served in the preservation of research, lore, and scholarly archives.
I'm just saying that, if there is something there that can help out the current situation.
Indeed. I'm sure that's why Jared is as excited as he may be. But what are your next steps?
That's... Oh, God, dude.
Well, I, for one,
Tyrone just starts eating. He's like,
Our path is laid before us in a way that is an unfortunate and undeniable fate. It's at our doorstep. It must be battled on the behalf of the Academy. Verax, I'm sure you agree with him, of course. I'm sure that whether we decide to upfront the rift with the full knowledge of the Academy or not, and we risk plunging the world into a true state of war due to our alliance, either way, must be rectified. And I believe that is where the Academy will lie for now. Verax now speaks. He says, "But as that may be, it does not mean it is your responsibility to stay here. What path and fate is for you? That is something you must answer. For yourselves, of course."
I mean,
Well, I for one, my God, called me on a holy crusade for Constantine.
I was gonna say, as a fellow holy man, this dude just got a divine call.
I got called by the divines, you know. Fucking chat out.
he also kind of got called by
Well, yeah,
someone.
it's kind of like the divine, it's like the opposite.
Yeah.
It's still a
Semyuanya is not the opposite. Semyuanya is like morally gray, somewhere in the middle.
morally gray call to
It's
action.
kind of like, hey, survive, bro.
like surviving shit.
Chill out, and survive, and fucking, you know,
I feel like
make a bunch of babies, bang a bunch of whores, you know.
Why couldn't that have been your calling?
yeah, that literally is your call.
Survive.
Impregnate.
Yeah. I mean,
Impregnate.
you know, Roga, that
Spread your seed.
Oh, whoa, 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 hey, whoa,
It's
hey.
too bad that's not the family as well, you know.
Well, no, Mordin's like, you know, go on a holy crusade, but you know, like get some side pussy. Get some shit on the side.
Sex outside of marriage is sin.
That's why I made you come over to that one time. Secretly more than
I wouldn't tell that to fucking Verax though. They're like, oh my god, he wants me to go on a holy crusade for Constantine.
So you intend to return to your homeland?
Yes. When whether they come with me or not is up to them. That's where my next step lies.
A man of the cloth is a man with purpose. This is Dominus speaking. I see no fault in you having faith that the call you are answering is what is right.
Yes.
I only hope that it provides you with that same foreclosure and level-headedness that you deserve. You have been both astute and, if I may say, a miracle for the Academy thus far. I hope that whatever path you will take is fortuitous.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Dominus.
You know, as valuable as Tyrone has been to the Academy, I'd be fucking nothing without that guy. I want you to know that, Dominus, for real. I fucking owe it. We all fucking owe it 90% to that guy.
I'm just a dwarf.
Who hates it?
Wait, what?
Nothing.
No, I'm just saying. No, toxic DM, toxic DM. He's being a toxic
I'm
DM.
one of the 7 toxic types.
He's all 7 toxic types in
the
one.
secretive.
What can I say? The secret
I
of
showed my
GM.
second cousin our the YouTube page.
Oh, yeah.
So we have another, no, he's serious. He was like, yeah, I'll watch that because he's a framer. For like,
Oh.
he's like,
You need some 5-hour-long content.
yeah. He's doing all the framing stuff for Hoop Fest this year.
It's kind of fun too. Well, you have found strength in allies.
Yeah, I think I did. You know, and as much as I want to like go help them, I don't know what these guys have planned. Well,
he's just in the. Just,
I know a little bit about what you know.
am I about to
Ogre's got
betray
planned, a little
another
bit.
fucking demon dude?
I know what your calling is for. And let me tell you, it's not where your calling is.
Quite the opposite, literally in the opposite fucking direction.
It
It's
is in the
literally
opposite direction.
the fucking direct opposite.
So you know Dominus as well as we've done together.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't know what's next. I don't know what could possibly be next, considering how strong everyone is being pulled due to their religious ties.
Well, he's not really being.
Hey, I'm not being pulled yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Your fucking time is coming back.
Give it to-
As soon as you cross the border into the Golden Mountains, your God's gonna be like,
You
"Go
know,
to the moon. You need to go south.
You
You
know-
need to
you
go
know-
fucking
no,
you know,
across."
With how this
the
party goes,
continent."
by the time we go to bed tonight, I might get another dream in my head, you know?
What's that fucking space game with like is it Kerbals? Kerbal?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kerbal space program. Yeah, that's what his god wants me to do. Wants me to go on Cock Rocket 8
Wants me to go to the moon.
on Twink Ass 7.
Dominus will fall apart.
I see that.
So
Indecisiveness can be dangerous, but I will not try to speak wisdom as Verax has taught me in many years. You each have your own fates. That much is evident, but do not falter. These are dangerous times. And strength in numbers is nothing compared to strength in friendship. Do not forget those who have rallied behind you. Continue on your path as it must be, but be wary of what lies ahead. That is all I can say. You've done us justice. I wish for you to find justice for yourselves.
yeah, I found most of my justice, I think. Thank you, Dominus.
How close can you get
They're
us?
wise words.
And I point to the point to the waterfall. To Zuna's.
How close could he get you to Zuna's?
Because that waterfall was like.
I'm looking at it
This
right
is
now.
Tyrolian stuff, dude. Don't look.
Well, Total Air
No, I don't even know it. Calfane won't even know where it went. So.
and Lou Rosha, have been, as you know, before your previous departure, uncanny and had us under an act of a certain accord allowing us to operate within all countries of the Arterian to dismantle some of our teleportation circles so that they could not be accessed from across the border. That being said, with the instruction of the new Ignotus Academy sector, we do intend to construct a new teleportation circle there in the coming months. However, time will tell if that's able to be done without some.
Can we expedite that now?
Well, honestly,
You would know that as a singular person to make a teleportation circle, it takes a year to cast it every day. So you would assume that, like, if there was a group of people, right, jointly doing that, that would be like, that's already really fast. To be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make one in 2 months. That's 10 months less than the average. So you would know that that is like.
He wouldn't know that. He'd be
No!
like, can you make it now?
And he's like, I wish it could be done. I could send you back to Concordia if you wish.
no,
That's far, man.
The Ziegman Kingdom still allows our alliances to hold true, and has not had us dismantle any of the infrastructure there. But Total Air, whether it be their paranoia or if it truly is real fear and the right decision to make, fears that we may choose sides. And if that were to happen, that we could use those teleportation circles as a means of invasion. And thus, the accord struck with them, we have dismantled them to keep them happy and allow us to freely explore as we have always explored.
I think Zoom C might be off the table then. For right now, anyway.
Yeah, that's a large.
You can walk there, he says.
We
Yeah.
have
Would we be able to
walked
cross
everywhere.
the? Listen, man, we fucking.
We have
walked
literally
everywhere.
Walked,
That's what I'm
we have walked pretty much everywhere.
Would we even be able to get through the border going south?
No.
What do the borders look like, Dominus? Hit me with the real.
No.
We couldn't even get to the border before the war broke out.
True.
Lou Raja has pushed all the way to here. Total layers, no
The
more.
borders are trepidatious.
Yeah.
Those who are
Trepidatious.
stationed in Total Air were able to still cast members of the Concord, the council who had to return for our meeting, were able to cast their teleportation spells here from their point, the same way that you had arrived in Russia, as Varix explains to me. But going there is a different thing entirely. By foot, I'm sure that if you could survive it, that you would find both political turmoil and bloodshed at every doorstep. From what I hear, the battalions have been marching long before your arrival.
They were marching the last time we came here too, so it's. I don't know. All I'm saying, don't count us out.
I would never. As I've just told you, strength and friendship, and I consider you friends.
Well.
I wager you as equals, not as mercenaries.
That's a big step, but appreciate it.
Are you saying you're not equal to him, or he's not equal to you?
I'm not equal to him.
Okay, you said that like, now slow your roll, buddy. You gotta go explore.
You're
a little
getting
more.
there, Dominus.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
That would be something Tyrone says, though.
He'd probably think it, but he wouldn't say
In
that.
about a year, he's gonna be saying that.
Yeah, in about a year.
sick scum.
Probably. Yeah, this fucking-
I'm level 20.
The banquet now is seeming to wind down, and it's at that moment that Molnir feels a little tug on the back of his coat, a little lapel of your underarm,
It's fucking God.
and you turn around and you see Nekriel, the small Kenku that was sent here after he was saved by you and your compatriots years ago.
The guy who sees into the future.
The kid!
Oh,
the fucking kid!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Wait, this
The
was...
kid we saved.
This is
kid
how you
we
met
saved.
Varix and Dominus.
Starok.
Yeah.
Oh.
it's
They
Starok.
came to look for the kid, and you guys were like, "We'll help," and they're like, "Please." This guy is
It's
like,
been a while.
it's been. You guys were level 2 when that
Yeah.
happened, so
And we killed the town like
Dude,
a
shout out
was it
Starok,
mayor or
man.
senator.
Let's go
or-
back.
Dude, Molnir would
Yeah.
probably be like, yes.
There's some type of like.
But like when he,
remember?
like it's
Yeah.
been a while.
Yeah,
he
you
realized-
reframed him.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, how are you? Whoa.
How did we kill that one? What was that one?
He
government
got
guy?
executed because we
We
framed
got
him.
him executed, but did we frame him for something?
Yeah, we
he
framed him.
did?
That's why he almost died.
That's why. That's
Yeah.
just
Statue.
why I almost fucking got.
That's why he's got a huge
murdered.
scar across his chest.
That is why you have a huge scar across your chest.
Yeah.
1 HP, baby.
1 HP, baby. The 1 HP dream.
He's obviously
Fuckers.
like way bigger than when he was little.
Slightly. Kenkus don't get very large. He is larger. It's been a year-ish in game,
About
a year or
year-ish,
two.
Yeah, sure.
So he is bigger, you know, like growth spurt
Yeah.
and all. Because like when you met him, he was like in his like infant, like he was like fucking 8 years old. He was a kid, like
Yeah.
child. So he's like quickly growing, but it hasn't been much time. And he tugs on you. He goes. He's in fully attire robes. They are more white than they are blue. You notice as you like ascend, they get more lavish in color. So like the headmaster robes are like purples and magentas and aquamarines and blues. And as you like yours are like half white, half color. And then students, because again, you're not a student, you're part of faculty, are like mostly white robes. Like initiates, sorcerers to be, people learning to be a part of faculty, people who have just enrolled. Those people have more white monkey robes, and that is what he is adorned in. Mostly white, like, you know, fresh student. It's very visible. And he just waves, and then bows, and then grabs, like, a plate off, like, a nearby table, and hands it to you.
Thank you. What's on the? Is it just like?
It's just food from the banquet.
I've ate quite a lot. Would you guys want some food?
Sure.
I'll nibble.
Verax stands up and kneels and says, "You're doing mighty well in your studies. I'm surprised that you remember our compatriots." And it does a little squawk. It's like, "Thank you!" And then pitter patters away. Just came to pay his respects, dog.
So,
Varix,
who was that?
when's the last time? You
Oh
saw
yeah, you don't.
Him?
When's the last time he had a vision?
Roll me a persuasion check.
That is. What was his name again?
Nekriel. Sorry.
That is Nekriel. So I'll pull out the map and show him where Starok is. This little town right here.
16.
Way back in early travels.
It's intermittent.
This is
You've
actually
been
where we met.
monitoring
Way back to
for
Domus.
obvious reasons.
We helped him.
He had
find
shown
this
a great
Kenku
darkness.
that had visions.
We
Very
thought it would be an
interesting.
isolated event.
Quite a while ago.
It was obvious.
Interesting.
It was with our other compatriots.
Moving forward, though,
Yeah.
there has been no new signs.
That's what I believe it says.
When was the last vision?
2-3 months ago. Before this. 4 months ago, sorry.
Do you think the rift
What was
might
it?
be?
Of great darkness.
Do you think the rift might be blocking his
Huh.
vision?
Crazy.
I wouldn't even speculate to guess. The arcane is strong, powerful, and special, but to hazard uneducated guesses is dangerous.
I should have just went down.
Did he almost pull you out of the chair?
He was pulling the chair back and I was tipped over.
The
It's hilarious.
It's actually hilarious. So,
Just feeling like this
you know,
kid's got some kind of connection to it. Huh.
you know, I know that your god wanted you to do this now,
So you can rape a kid.
and I know you were like already asked about the rift. But do you think that you'd be smited if you did the rift anyway?
I must go to Cosmorala. It is my calling.
Let's see.
Rift or no rift. It is what it is.
That is, you know, I just see the vision of the future being great darkness. It's kind of concerning.
If it is a great darkness where I reclaim my homeland, then let it be great darkness where I'm home.
Well, we're just in
Great.
the corner lining matches on the table.
Great darkness with a candle in a cave.
Yeah.
You're just like licking Eldritch
I
Blast
don't care if there's darkness. I'm
have,
in the ground.
Changed my voice.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be dark anyways.
How long do you think the rift has before it gets completely out of control? Does it seem to be slowing down? Is it?
It's definitely not slowing down, that's for sure.
Right.
Based on what Dominus has told me, it is nothing but sped up, expedited with haste. People die by the day, but that is the unknown. But again, when it comes to making unsubstantiated claims, I would not even wager to give you a guess. Because giving you an answer that you would think to be truth and acting upon it would be surely your demise. I would not send my friends into great doom. I have no idea what the rift holds. I have no idea what will happen with it in the coming days, and I have no idea if it will survive the threat or if it will be petty. Time will tell.
Jesus Christ.
That was the Brady answer because he's like, if I give him a time, if I give him like a time frame, they're gonna yell at me for not abiding by the time frame.
Sure, yeah.
No, you know that would happen. You'd be like, oh, Dominus says it's like 6 months, and then it's like 3 months, and we're all like, you said 6 months. You said 6 months. You know that would happen. That's
If it
literally
wasn't
what
the
would happen.
consequences of my action.
No, that's literally what would happen. We would be like, you said 6 months.
Well, that and this is completely fucking unstudied and.
This is
Yeah.
it's very obvious that how they converse about this. It's like obviously the other realms are known. You guys don't live in the dark ages of like D&D timeline. Like material realm in conjunction with the Feywild, the Shadowfell, and even the this is very studied, well versed archaeological, like arcane knowledge. People go to the Shadowfell if they wanted to, but like for this the barrier between rifts to collapse to such an extent that a fucking giant crater-sized rift that parts the sky can be opened, like that's like cataclysmic. Like no one knows. And it's very obvious that their trepidation is somehow to even assess the situation due to its rarity, if you will. The most uncommon thing you can think of. So I can give you that much just because Arcane, they've been talking about it for days. You could have asked these questions. It's very obvious that, like, oh yeah, the Shadowfell. It's the Shadowfell.
That we know about it, but
Yeah.
this hasn't happened.
Yeah, this hasn't fucking happened.
Lots of shadows in the Shadowfell.
Would you believe that the place called the Shadowfell is dark?
No way.
What?
What?
Wait a minute.
Shadowfell?
Oh, wait
Dude,
a
I thought it
minute.
should be bright as fuck.
The banquet now, as it's thinned, comes to a complete
Super
end.
bright. It's like that.
Barak
That's why
stands and he
Shadowfell,
kind of brushes some
everything casts
crumbs
a shadow.
off of his lapel. He leans in and he says, I still have some energy left in me. Yes, if you would like to begin the lesson on what I offered, if you could find the time.
Yeah.
Please follow me. And you are swept away. The rest of you are left at the table with Varys, or with Dominus. Sorry. He begins to also stand. I intend to draft up perhaps a procedural textbook on perhaps contacting the people of Edistray. Aside from that,
Yeah.
I will return to my study. If you need anything,
I can
We already discuss where our rooms would be with them.
Sure.
Okay.
I
So I don't have to arc.
I can show you where to find them if you wish.
I will meet with you before your departure.
Sounds good, sir.
And he stands. If there's anything, please let me know.
Will do.
And he continues off. The room beginning to dwindle from people. You find yourself in the lobby almost as if it was normal. Food still dotted around empty plates and gourds that still need to be cleaned. But otherwise, it's just a thoroughfare now. People walk in. It's like the commons at like a high school, right? Like people sitting, people standing, people doing schoolwork, people not. It's kind of just divulged into a common room.
I would like to make my way to our room.
Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say, I'll
make your way to
go
your
back
room.
to the room.
As you guys get to your room, you are taken to this chamber. It's like a pillowed white room, like a sanitarium, basically.
Okay.
But instead of all the walls being plush, you notice that they look soft and bubbled, but they're all made of like this incredibly hard sculpted granite and marble. Like if you fell, you would break bones. Like it is like fucking a square of stone.
Okay.
And over the course of the next 4 hours, he teaches you how to. He does it effortlessly, but he does give you 1 diamond to practice with, like on the school's dime. And he teaches you how to concentrate the vapor of the air and to coalesce it into the singularity, the singular point, so microscopically small that when it does get to the final like section of mass, it envelops upon itself, creating a weird arcane anomaly that you have not seen. It's a give and take, as he's talked about many times, as it first explodes, ripping people into it before detonating and then sending shards of ice. And over the course of these 4 hours, he shows you the proper incantation and the visual somatics that you need to perform the spell, but it is incredibly difficult, even for a man of your natural born talent. It causes beads of sweat on your, if birds can sweat, on your feathers. It is incredibly difficult to maintain focus for the time needed for the spell. And though at the end of this 4 hours, you feel better about it, just like Draco does, he does look at you, Verax, and he says, "Not good enough. Meet me tomorrow." And he stands, "We'll cut for today." And he just walks out of the chamber.
What was he trying to teach you to do?
Can I insight that?
Yeah. Why? Yeah, roll me insight, please.
I just wanna. Not good enough. We'll meet tomorrow. Fucking gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
13.
13.
Yeah.
Hard to tell. Hard to tell whether it was informative, aggressive, or disappointment. He said it with stern and strong bravado.
All right. I'll just fucking.
Yeah. You are physically exhausted.
Yeah,
Your
I just-
body is drained of all it has nothing left.
Yeah, I was also in a fight for my life.
So I need you to
not-
put
not
2
real.
points of exhaustion.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, it's
Are you being serious?
I'm being 100% serious. Over the course of the 4 hours, he sucked you dry, bro. He fucking
Damn, sign me up.
he
bro.
put you through the ringer.
Okay. I'm going to bed, so I'm not.
You're gonna lose one of them for sure.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that. Oh man.
I know. Stinks. Did he tell me earlier when we were at the banquet when I would meet with the other Aerocopter or when I would maybe
He
be able
did
to
not.
meet about?
He said he would need to see if he could set that up first, and he, had just now it's been 4 hours. You don't know at this point, but at that moment he had not spoken.
All right, I'll just go chill.
During that 4 hours, that doesn't just pass. Is there anything you want to do in that time?
This is the room that
Yeah,
Sam
like
was last time.
Yeah.
where you can like make your own. Like,
Yeah.
I have a stone bed.
Yeah.
You in a stone bed
Yeah.
comes from the
Well, I remember that was like, because you're like, you think of your home,
a home and hearth.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Probably just
Go to a wall and
go to
think
wall,
of whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Alright, I'll go to a wall and I'll think of my.
A small crevice opens and you find yourself at the butt end of a cave. No light, no mushroom, no moisture, just raw stone and a small little like bedroll that unrolls as it appears, like
I was like, fuck yeah.
wildly uncomfortable.
I
but
look at Roger, I'm like,
You're also sleeping on
yeah, I have cows.
diggy
on my back.
hole as you
Yeah.
do.
And I
I'm
dreamed
digging
of
a hole,
a nice
diggy,
big
diggy
comfy
hole.
tent with a big fire and
And it
beautiful bed.
comes to be.
You know,
as
every day threatens death. This is sometimes the best you can do, dog.
Rogan, whenever I touch stone, I jizz a little.
I'm sure you do. Through multiple orifices.
I love stonework.
Can I go to the room?
You arrive at this moment as they
I
are preparing
love
your room for
stonework.
the evening.
I walk up to a wall, and I want like my childhood bedroom, and I just fucking
Okay.
and I drop in bed.
As you
Race car bed.
create your childhood bedroom, it is a very refined, small little tent, basically, that is adorned with many hammocks and a lot of hanging apertures, as you would expect from a clan of flying people. Lots of colorful, just from memory, colorful renditions of the air realm are transcribed on the side of this like very strewn, tight rawhide tent. And in the center of it, a beautifully knit hammock.
Fucking plopping in that bitch. And I'm asleep. I'm already asleep.
Yeah, oh yeah, you barely made it, just in time.
I would like to pray to my boy Morgan. Just general prayers.
Okay.
I'm gonna read the book about the cool ones.
I'm sorry, I'm a cleric. You know what I'm gonna say.
You pray.
I do.
You pray. You share some words of enlightenment.
Brady's like, I'm not. You guys roll for it.
No, I know. It's fine. He's playing with 2 religious characters and 2 characters who pray all the
No,
time.
you're
And
in
they also pray.
They're in
Everybody's
I'll
praying.
read the one about
I kind of gave
the
up.
islands.
the island. So the
Someone
first
was like,
book
I don't even fucking care about you.
You're like
is-
surviving too hard.
I did not mean to do that.
No one wants.
The first book is
fucking
wait, you're reading the one about the
Watching.
islands? The okay.
He said, he literally just drained you. He's like,
That's,
oh, I'm so exhausted.
that's on film, dog.
Got it.
Now zoom in on it, bro.
Cut.
You open the book. It's very meticulously written with words in the margins, notes, like post-analysis. I won't lie, I didn't write like the book out, but I can tell you exactly what it is. The beginning of the book does describe an individual named. I can actually pull up the name here. Caldrith. Sorry. An individual named Caldrith who was on a boat that was a pseudo trade ship, but in the sense of an explorative trade ship where they made their money by like colonizing. Like, here's gunpowder, and people were like, take our fucking jade statues. That's crazy. And so he was on a ship that did those things. Let me annotate this before I forget. The ship, it's not a manifest, but more so like his private, like, this is what I learned about this and this.
Pass it around.
Very orangey.
That's the potion of hill giant strength right there.
Yeah, so pat it.
And it describes, his escapades, the people on a ship, which are never named. It's a very like personal documentary. Like it almost is written in the post hand of like he was writing this to rewrite it into a book to be published. You know what I mean? Like he's taking very meticulous notes, but he knows he can fill in all the minutia later. All the other shit. He doesn't care. So it's a very personal rendition of what he experienced. But goes on to talk about their travels through a specific portion of the book, which is the majority of it, of the Giada Sea, which you would know as the Western Sea. The world is split up. The lands of Eltirin around this continent of Eltirin are split into 3 seas. There is the Frostguard, which is the Northern Sea, incredibly perilous, difficult to navigate, dangerous, you would know. Not that your pirates know. The Giada Sea is the Western Sea, and then there's the Glindari Ocean, which is the eastern and mostly southern portion, which is like mostly tropical.
Where we were.
Yeah, where you were. The Talcor Gulf, which is where the Cyber Concord is, that gulf is part of the Glindari Ocean. The Giada Sea is the Western Sea, usually traveled pretty frequently, generally safe from pirates. The Glindari Ocean, where you were, also easy to navigate. It's a tropical ocean, not safe. pirates, loot to be had, so much commercial traffic. Frostguard, neither. No one fucking goes there if they can help it. And if you do go there and you're skilled enough to go there, you make a lot of money. Doesn't matter. That's not stated here. It talks about their trips, specifically in the Guiana Sea. Things they experienced, the lack there of ships, certain islands they went to, and you do find a small section of these are some weird aboriginals we came across. And he goes to state that they found it, ... After months of travel, we came across what can only be known as the Varelia Isles. It's a group of islands. He goes on to state, this Caldreth, in extensive detail how, though the island mass has been discovered before and has been annotated, and they've been looking for it because they know there's people on these islands of different races, species, whatever the fuck you want to call it, no one's gone to the extent to map them. And so he goes over the course of years in this book. Every page is a month. He didn't notate every day. He would notate when something happened. And over the course of months and months and months, he notates when they visited the islands, and he begins naming them himself. Any island of substantial name, or substantial girth, if you will. And so within the Varelia Isles, that section in the Western Sea, he names 4 islands of prominence. Thornmere Isle, Agros, the Isle of Sereth, and Duskreach. He gives very, very vague descriptors of them, because it's obvious that when they moored there, they tried to make contact, sometimes unsuccessful, other times it was barren. And so the actual events that took place there were pretty haphazard and hard to put together. But they do describe on multiple occasions, it doesn't say the race, species, or type of people they integrated with, but on 3 of the 4 islands, he does have annotations like traded X for X. We traded a cannon, 2 barrels of fucking oranges for a weird tropical fruit and 3 blankets. And we stayed for 3 days post-haste in the graces of the clan leader. And they go on, and he continues these over the course of basically a fucking year. And it's very obvious that the depth of page and difference in age and vocabulary happens. And that is what you glean from that. And a lot of information, but you spend the entire night reading this whole fucking book. Aside from that is what you're looking for, right? The names of the islands, those are them. You assume that it's hard to know whether those names caught on, how he named them. The Varelia Islands, though, did seem to be a annotized name, proper noun for them before their arrival. So that, that definitely is a landmass that is recognized by people. Both Jerrigar and the book itself mention them, but also he, the author, Caldreth, knew that they existed here as post-haste from his captain to find them. The book continues on, and it does describe the very, very last quarter of his journal about how they were going to finally make their return southern and go through the Glendarii Ocean to go to the Southern Cape, and more finally completing their multi-year voyage in. I want to make sure I just give you the right. Let me look at the map, make sure I got the right one. They were going to end in Kavir Keep, which is all he said.
I know it's 2% more, but you smell it first.
I know it was a lot, and I do have that, for the most part, annotized in here, so I can always return that to you. But you do spend the evening reading the fucking book, so I don't even have to give you post-notes. You fucking read the book. That's what it has.
Yeah.
It's a fun read, though. You're for a moment, Roger's like, dude, this guy has some cool-ass stories. He's like, oh, we slayed a boar and fucking ate its flesh. They had never seen a boar, a wild boar up to that point, etc., etc. But it is a very personal rendition, so there's no crew names, because he knew the crew names. He would never forget them, so he never bothered to write that shit down, unfortunately.
Okay.
That Fox. What a surprise. I need one alcohol.
Yeah, pass it around.
What do you guys think about the Jones soda one?
I like that, actually.
Orange cream.
I liked it. Straight up.
It smells take a whiff off the top of that.
Okay.
It smells pretty funky.
It smells like fucking rotten eggs.
That smells horrible.
That is just Mountain Dew.
It smells
It
like fucking
just tastes like
ass.
fucking Mountain Dew.
That's just Mountain Dew. That's just regular.
Which kind of sucks.
Mountain Dew.
It tastes okay.
But it's fucking
That's
5%er. It's like,
Nice.
0 sugar too.
yeah.
I'm asleep.
You sleep. Sorry, that was a lot. I didn't mean to bring us a lot. There's a lot.
I mean, it's interesting.
Can
And
Roger
It's
Good information.
Can Rolger ask the room to play an old song from his childhood to lull him to sleep?
Wait, ask us.
Whether it's a drum
Oh, the room.
or a hymn.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you can ask the magic
Hey
room.
guys,
Just for the meme,
play me
yeah.
a song.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good, but the room morphs and like the same way it would imitate like the crackling of a fire. There is like a very, it's kind of like Mongolian throat singing, like a and that repeats in a very
Rolger
we-
feels right.
murmuring
Hang on.
sound.
Goes to sleep.
So you said it's kind of like it's iffy.
It's not the most enjoyable music you've heard. No.
Hey Tyrone, you want to try to replicate that? I'll
I'm
sing and
asleep.
then.
He's
I
he's,
know
he's
he's like,
fucking
never mind.
knocked
I'll
out.
touch my part of the wall and I'm like, door.
Door?
Yeah, just like put a door there.
You the cave closes ish sort of and allows for some more privacy.
I'm just like laying there and I'm hearing this.
Oh, hey man, hey.
I like to go over to Boulder's little fucking tent.
Hey,
I peek in.
Hey,
You're out. Then I see that I'm like,
hey, my, hey, hey, young,
I'll try to go to sleep.
I'm gonna keep doing this until someone does something.
Can I? Can I?
We're all
Can I-
asleep.
No, he's fucking around.
I was already in bed, bro.
Molnir.
I asked the room for earmuffs.
It produces small earmuffs. Hey, it plays seashell noises.
Hell yeah!
I
I didn't know they had Beats by Dre at the academy.
You all rest.
Yeah.
Sorcerer Dre.
The day
I know.
finally ending, and you awaken. The next day, slightly rejuvenated, still a little sore.
Wild.
Um,
God damn, it's crazy.
you all awaken
It's hilarious.
after a long night's rest.
How is
I miss my.
How is Tyrone
I
looking
miss
after
my
I wake up?
comb.
What?
is Tyrone looking just still like?
He looks peckish and incredibly tired.
It's ironic that he's peckish because he's a bird.
Can I skim through that seminar book?
Yeah. Over the morning, you do look through it to an extent. It does describe certain less notable
You're good. I know.
notable deities of multiple pantheons. So it does describe like certain like small gnomish pantheon gods that like are maybe only
Why don't you make a pact with them, bro?
prayed to like by specific people in that specific scenario, like people who like are praying for a good herd, you know, a good yield of something. And it continues and continues, and then in it you do find certain members of less civilized species that are they have like records of certain deities that they pray to, and you see two names in there that you recognize: Semyonia and Sisanek is in there
In the same
book, in the same portion, chat. Semyonia is described as you've known him, as a lesser deity, a deity known for being prayed to, unlike some of the other lizard folk deities, as like a year-round god. It's not like, oh, I pray for this god for like a good harvest or a brave winter, and then I pray to this god for forgery and a good craft. Semyonia is more of like, when the times are bad, it takes the formation of a woman bearing eggs and clutches, and when times are good and it's time to expand, it takes the form of a great warrior who would kill and crusade. And it just describes that that's like, you know, there's not a lot written about the deity or about the figure, but there are notable communions with her that they've seen or people have documented. And the same goes for Sisanek. However, Sisanek, the description is a little bit more vague. It does describe, and this seems to be like a proper book, probably written by the Academy or someone who is like a scholar in some form. It's got like references and it's pulling information from different sources. But it does go to explain that Sisanek is one of the demon lords that took the form of a lizard and thus was prayed to by the lizard folk. not innately a lizard descent. More so took the form of a great headed lizard with 6 arms that was incredibly powerful and blood rageous, but grew very tired of the blood war and imposed self-exile upon itself. The rest of its descriptor is quite vague.
I have a question about a spell.
Yeah.
So if I lesser restoration, would that help with a point of exhaustion?
Does it say it does?
It says you touch a creature and you can end either one disease or one condition afflicting
Oh.
it. The condition can be. Oh no, the condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Yeah. It means like an in-combat condition.
All right.
I was gonna say if it does, then I didn't know that.
Appreciate you
that
trying
spell
on me.
one time. I had that
Appreciate
spell.
you checking.
I was like looking through it, and I was like, condition.
I know a man who's got a condition. He's retarded.
That's what you learned. There's not a lot more than what you've known. Obviously, the Sissenek information is slightly novel and a little bit new, but otherwise, you probably know more about what the general civilized populace knows about Semyonia at this point.
Yeah.
Pretty familial, intimate relation that you have with this deity.
Talk to him on multiple occasions.
Yeah. So, just simply because you would assume because the lizard folk aren't what you would call like members of
Society.
They are, and some of them can be kind of smart. You've talked to some. But they're like, they live in like clans and clutches. They don't like live in kingdoms and fucking like integrate with politics, right? They just don't. So. The book does dictate, I did forget this kind of big thing, that Semyonia and Sissenek are rivals.
Yeah, why are they in the... That's what it...
I do, but I don't have it.
Yeah.
And also
What?
100 gold.
Did you not hear what he just said?
Yeah. I was gonna ask... That's what
Yeah,
I was
holy
gonna
shit.
ask is why are they next to each other?
Because they are more of the common deities that are referred to by lizard folk, at least in the research and scholarly essence of this book. It does go to describe how, like, right, Sissenek is a bloodthirsty, kind of a cultist demon lord, and so it would be prayed to kind of like in fanaticism, like all the time. Semyonia was more variety, but also quite commonly, even though they're both lesser deities, one a lesser demon lord and a lesser deity god itself, prayed to in abundance by their people. Obviously not in abundance by the population as a whole.
What did Semyonia say to me when I said this is Sissenek's area? And he was like, oh.
He's like, oh, that's interesting.
Not
Not really familiar with that.
He said, surprising, that makes sense, was basically the derivative of what you got from it.
And I can tell that this chalice is demonic. That's what Varric had said, and that's what...
I mean,
Moses
what does
said.
it do?
And that's what Jared
Those are
said.
the implications.
You can
it doesn't
imply-
say anything outright.
Yeah, you can imply whatever you want. It is sucking a god off.
So,
Not quite.
I can safely assume Semyonia hasn't been fully transparent.
Can you?
After reading this book, Roger feels that Semyonia hasn't been fully transparent.
And Roger feels that he hasn't been fully transparent.
Not that he owes me transparency,
No, but I mean,
but it would be nice to be.
Homeboy, you're a warlock. You
Hey,
don't
man.
get shit.
I'm in the temple of the guy you hate the most.
And I have this thing that you know what it is, motherfucker. And this whole time you've been like, take it there.
I have
And then
your
take it away.
number one enemy's most prized relic. And he went, never fucking heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
Can't believe that.
I didn't say that.
Who is it?
Chalice? Never heard of her.
He went, oh, I've heard of that guy.
You found the chalice in his temple. He knew what it was. He just didn't know the extent. And he made that very clear. So when you asked him, what do I do? You said, it's speaking to you, follow it. The rest of which you're pretty on the par nose. Yeah, you can read into that however you want. I totally agree. It's fucking weird. Clouded in cloak and dagger.
I've heard of that guy
Yeah.
before.
He didn't say, I don't know what that is. You found it in his door, in his fucking home. He knows what it is. And he's
Can I-
never acted like he
Can I
didn't.
pull out the chalice?
Yeah.
Can I ask it who is really speaking to me?
It doesn't respond.
At all.
No. Nope. It has been more dormant than normal ever since its recharged battery. Seems that it fulfilled some purpose.
You got suck that god off real good.
Did you ever add that point?
I said the strength. But
Oh, we'll add it. It's just a cup, bro. It's just a cup.
Oh, did you ever? I probably would have given you the Elvish chainmail.
We didn't talk about it here at the table, so I didn't add it.
There's a knock at your door.
I'll open it.
Time to fucking shoehorn some shit in, boys. We gotta keep the train rolling, and I'm obviously kidding. Obviously kidding.
Open it.
You do
Yes.
open it, and it is an individual that you've seen once before. It is an Aarakocra from the council.
I'm
Immediately
still,
look back to Tyrone like, I believe you have a visitor. I'm assuming you searching for him.
I was told to converse with a Tyrone.
I'm literally in bed still, and I like peek out from my tent.
And you see this yellow. What's the name of that fucking bird?
Canaries?
No, the canary's red, right?
Canary's yellow.
Canary's yellow.
Canary's yellow,
Canary
okay.
yellow is a color, so I'd imagine.
Yeah, they're yellow.
Yeah.
Well, no.
He is overall a like yellow bird. Like I said, he doesn't have a differentiation like the white head and eagle-ish peak that you have. But overall, pretty standard Aarakocra features you've seen, you know, like in your time, like not abnormal by any means. I was. Did you approach, by the way? You just said you see him at the
I
window,
peeked from the tent.
and he's just sitting at the door with his like his council robes that are like lavender and blue, and he's just like.
I'm like, oh my god, give me 1 minute. And I fucking jump out of bed and get dressed, ready to rock and roll.
He introduces himself to all of you, though, as he enters. He says, let me find this. There he is. I appreciate you allowing me into your sanctity, and I apologize for my intrusion. I am a Jakara. It is a pleasure.
Nice to meet you,
Let me
sir.
make
Meet
sure
you,
I got
Jakara.
it down, 'cause I was like,
I'm
alright.
Bonia.
The
Campaign.
pleasure to meet you. The previous headmaster had tasked me with retrieving Tyrone for another lesson, but Stormness said it would be pertinent if I spoke to you on the way to your lesson. Seems you had some words for me.
I did. Where's it now? Yeah. Let's get marching, I guess.
Shall we?
Yeah.
He turns and, you know, his hands into each sleeve as he... Not a very imposing fella, pretty small overall.
How big is he compared to me?
Similar size, but you're also not an imposing fella either. He's probably like 5'8".
Okay.
Probably smaller by some of the warriors, like, standards of the clan that you grew
Who
up
gives
with.
off a more threatening vibe?
You do, because he's not bloodthirsty. He's just kind of like... But
And
he
I
does...
literally have a gun strapped to my chest.
Correct. And a giant scar underneath your robe that goes from your chin to your fucking cock. Your corkscrew.
Hell yeah.
As you walk with him, it is abnormal to see another of us outside of the air realm. Tell me, what has brought you here?
Well, long story. Kinda ran into Dominus and Verax a very long time ago, and
Maybe you could use.
got an invitation, and slowly made my way here.
Well, our people
Does it
are
have any
known for
like
their
negates the requirement
innate
for
ability
medium armor?
to control the wind and storm. Tell me, what clan do you hail from?
I don't even remember. I don't even know if I've written down.
I can pull it up for you.
Please. I don't-
You would
I
know
don't
that
remember.
you would know the answer to that question has two answers. He's both asking, kind of up to you. It's kind of like a double fault. Like it's he wants to see how you'll respond. One answer would be the name of the people that you're under. Another would be your surname,
Elven
which we
chainmail?
discussed, like what your
Fish chainmail.
lineage would be. I do have that pulled up if you want to know. You don't have to say it if you don't want. I can message you.
Ooh.
Obviously, I remember like my family name.
I think so. You'd have to ask him, but
What was my people's name though? I don't remember that.
Try to find that.
Yeah. I literally don't remember.
Was it
I don't
Elven
know that.
chainmail that he found?
Yes, I think so. I'll have to find it. I guess we didn't. I don't have it. So if I don't have it, it means you probably didn't decide on it.
I
We
don't
were probably
remember.
talking
I
about
literally
it.
don't remember if I.
So it's up to you if you want to come up with one or tell him your surname. It's definitely clear that he's asking like whatever you're comfortable with. Like how do you tie yourself to the world? What is important to you?
I mean, both, but since I don't have a people name, I'll give him my family name.
Okay. You're such a fuck.
What?
Do you know it?
Yes.
Are you intentionally not saying it?
For now. They
Okay,
can
that's
hear
all I
it when
wanted.
they hear it.
All right,
In our
whatever.
conversation.
That's fine. He says, I see. Well, so you are part of the defenders of the overstanding divine portal in the wastes, I suppose. I have
Yes.
heard of your name. I myself actually hail from the air realm proper.
Really?
Many years, well, not so many years, but some time ago I made my passing. I actually probably conversed with one of your lineage during my departure and decided to explore the realm in its entirety before returning to the Divine One.
How long have you been here?
Been a member of the Academy maybe 5-10 years. What seems like an eternity for us, but it has been a fruitful and enjoyable experience. They respect both my knowledge and scholarly etiquette.
I feel like I have questions, but I don't even know what to ask. It's so
Just
weird.
a guy, bro.
It's so weird, dude. It's one of my people.
What was the name of the chainmail? The Elvish chainmail?
I already asked him. It's Elven
Oh.
chainmail.
Yeah.
In D&D Beyond, it's Elven, but Elvish.
One, it's one of the two. Yeah, it is a magical item that's in raw.
Can you
He
turn
give-
down that
he
bright
gives-
light at all?
Yeah. Do you want me to turn it down?
Yeah, just a little bit. Because every time I look at you, because whenever you go into like long dialogues, I'm just staring, and you look like an angel, which is kind of sick, but also
Oh.
it's scary because I can't see
It does
afterwards.
blind me every time I look up. Yeah.
I can angle it now. I can turn it off. I don't give a shit. Damn, my face is dark now. Holy shit.
He gave that shit to me.
You should put it right in front of me.
Okay, it's yours to do with as you please.
Did he tell me like his people's name?
No.
Thank you.
I would like to ask
Appreciate
him.
that.
And he says, well, of course. How would I describe how I come to be?
What? What?
You've been very,
Yeah, you've had
Control F.
Alt F4.
been looking, bro. Been looking.
Well, my tribe mostly broke apart during our defension, but my lineage is of the Wind Clutch. Very similar naming, like Stratosphere, as your name. You know, in the sense of like it's a kind of like an old timey like clan surname that was given to someone based on the performance of what they had done.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's how our people are.
Yeah. Very
So,
direct
it's
and very to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't fuck
What's your
around.
name? My name's Brad Birdkiller. What's going on, brother? Why is that? I killed 2 birds when I was 2 years old. Yeah. So he
His
says he's
name's
from.
Tyrone Fireball.
So yeah, literally. You
Tyrone.
should just wait till you hear it.
Tyrone Looter.
So he does describe that he is of the Wind Clutch lineage, a small member of a clan from the actual air realm proper.
I'll note it. That's crazy. What? I'll ask him, like, how did you find yourself here? Like, I think it's weird that I'm here, considering, like, the lifespan of our people isn't super long. You know? So I feel like it's weird that we find ourselves in...
I was always
Such a
fascinated
position.
by what was beyond. Have you ever been to the air realm proper yourself?
I would imagine not often.
You had peeked into it, like you had like gone through the Great Portal before, like it's part of coming of
I'd
age.
seen it.
But you were
like,
not like a defender. You were not. It was more like you see it, that's your life. Go to school, like you know, do your shit. So not like you've never explored it in any facet. But there are many realms from portals from the air realm to both the material realm where we are and other elemental planes as well. there's so much beauty in the world. So much arcane knowledge, so many things to gather. And though many people of my tribe were more religious in sects and believed that the great divine work was all that there was, I was lucky enough to be born into a family that saw the value in knowledge. And during my coming of age, my walk of life, as we call it, I found myself here, and with a heavy heart and maybe even guilt, I never sent word back, and I have stayed.
Well, I mean,
Which is a little weird to hear. It's like someone denying their destiny, kind of.
yeah. Well, what do you think?
What do you think?
What do you
I
think
knew
Tyrone
you-
is doing? Literally
Yeah.
at this very moment, and I just kind of look at him. I'm like, yeah. Well,
And you know that, like, it's not like cult-like. It's like you most of the people born into those clans and tribes are like, they truly believe in the zealotry of like protect the air realm, protect the gates to and from it, battle the skies, and worship the deities of chosen. There's a couple, and you've actually seen one in that one temple, the ruined monastery. And that's what they're like. That's what their work is to keep it, you know, pure and beautiful and everything. And there's never like resentment for a lot of that. But still, not doing it is still a little bit like, oh, you just never went back. Okay, but
I mean, I know it would be weird to hear, but Tyrone's like, I'm doing the same thing, like right now. So, yeah, I would tell him, like, well, as weird as it is to hear, having been here and having met the people I've met and done the things I've done,
I'm sure you have seen many things in your time that has begged your curiosity.
oh yeah, there is
And
a
you
lot here.
understand why I have stayed, at least for the
Oh,
years that I
absolutely.
have.
I don't know how long I will be here or, you know, when my return will be, if that happens.
He kind of smirks with his little beak.
Like, there are a lot of things here, and it seems in a lot of ways the world kind of needs my companions and myself.
Well, it is fortuitous that our meeting came from your resurrection of the Scrollkeeper and the return of Varax. You have received quite the force of allies in these last coming days. However, as I said, I was here to give you and hand you off to the lesson with Varax, but is there anything that concerned you? He made it sound as though there was something troubling you that you wished to speak to me for. Or was it simply companionship of one of your own?
It was more curiosity, I feel like.
I like
You are the only Aarakocra I've seen outside of the air realm alive.
There are few that leave the Astari wastes in the material realm, but there is a whole clutch of us within the air realm proper. Maybe one day you'll see it for its true beauty.
I did stumble across one guy.
Hmm.
I said alive for a reason.
Ah, that does not go well.
What was the temple?
The Laroon Monastery.
Yes.
I know that off the top of my head. For some reason, I don't know why.
I think I wrote it down here, but
I don't remember.
I have like
That-
all of the dialogue that happened in there that you sent to me.
There's a lot.
Pasted in here, and there is a lot. So that's why I'm like, ugh. I have the name of the god. What was his name? Eridri. Eridri, the goddess of the air and
Yeah.
birds. Yeah.
Elven deity, but she kind of said "fuck you" to the elves. The
Yeah.
bird people are where it's at, literally in lore. She was
Yeah.
like, "I get it, fuck you guys," and she basically, much of the air realm people worship her, and most of the avian species worship her, whether as a primary god or close to a primary god. She is like all about freedom and, you know, flying on the winds and, you know, impulsivity and things that your people literally fight for on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Airdrie or whatever the fuck her name is.
I'll bring up, Eridri, whatever. So I'll bring up the name of the temple and the name of Eridri.
Peculiarly enough, I have never visited, but it seems you describe its location, I presume.
Yeah.
So close to home, but I've never. I suppose its location is not far from the waste. Perhaps it was a communion. Perhaps maybe trying to gather followers. Regardless, perhaps I should take a look. My time has since freed up, given the return of Arax.
Yeah, well, it was in rough shape when we were passing through.
Very.
He stops at a door now, the same door that you were in the day previous, and he looks you just dead on. Well, do not
Bless you.
believe that this is a goodbye. It is more of a until next time. It's been a pleasure. Is there anything that puzzles your mind before I return to my duties?
I don't think so, but I appreciate you coming to get me.
He puts his little like mitts together, like in this weird like claw, talon to talon, and he just does a little. It's just been an
Fucking give him
absolute
the-
pleasure. He kind of like.
Listen, man, I'm from the streets.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
I'm from the hood compared to where he's from.
I mean, sure. And he kind of like waits for your, your body language to be like, oh yeah, I'm finished.
Yeah, I'll do whatever fucking natural. I don't know what a bird goodbye is.
Yeah.
But I'll do it to the best of my recollection.
Roll me a
It's been-
performance check for the meme.
Fuck, dude. Fuck.
Does he
Yeah.
fall?
Fuck you, goddammit!
Can I pass the
You
elven
can't
chainmail
do
on
this
to-
to me,
You
bro.
can do whatever you want with it.
Ooh! I actually rolled fucking really good.
I'm not quite.
Performance, you said?
Mm-hmm.
This kind of feels
21.
You feel a sense of duty come over you. Like
humbling
you've done
for
this
me, but
before.
someone who knows
And
that
he
might find this.
Let's have a little smile on his.
You're giving me that?
I look
Oh,
forward
the elven
to
chamber?
our presence together.
It gives me. It takes 10 feet off my walking speed.
Walks away.
I'll turn the door and I'll go.
I give it a little fucking
It is magical,
jingle,
so it will fit.
I
it
look
will
down the
fit.
hall.
It kind of.
Look down the hall.
Fitting.
Anyone around?
No.
And I walk inside.
And you walk
You're
inside.
proficient with it even if you're not trained in it.
While that happens,
Really?
That's
Then
the
you
magical
use
effect, yeah.
So I'll look to.
so let me triple check, and I can tell you guys what that is.
Elven chain.
Chain shirt.
Oh, it's an Elven chain shirt.
Chain shirt.
Never mind. I take it back.
You want it back?
Snatches it out of his hands.
I thought it was Elven chain mail.
I
shirt.
want to. Alright,
Maybe-
let me look this
You
up.
got an elven chain
I
shirt
take off
the weird
elven chain
tattoo
shirt
needle,
and I hand it back to him.
and the training that you are currently receiving. Those were your 3 rewards.
Oh,
Is it still cooked
it's
for you?
no. It's worse than what I got.
Oh. Well, we
I
can
mean-
hold on to it.
If you want it,
Go ahead.
do you like what armor class do you have right now?
I'm wearing fucking scale.
I think it's 16. I think.
I have 16. I have 16.
Because this is. Do you have a shield? Or
I
is
do
that
not have
just-
16. I'm at
You're 15.
15. Yeah.
15.
Because this is 14 plus 1. So it's the exact fucking same. That's what you're wearing right now, I think.
It's medium armor, right?
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, I'm at
He
15.
can't wear armor at all, so maybe that'll be good for him.
I can't wear anything other than like literally light armor.
Robes.
Or I
Well,
can't fly.
You are considered trained with this
I'm
armor
wearing
even if you
scale
lack
mail.
training with medium or heavy armor.
Yeah, but he
If
can't
I'm
fly.
wearing medium or heavy armor, I can't fly.
He can cast spells with it technically because he'd be proficient, and the only thing stopping him from
Yeah,
casting
but
spells is being
flying
proficient.
is-
But he
can't.
still can't fly.
I can't fly if I'm wearing medium or heavy armor.
So never play an Aarakocra fighter.
Definitely not. For the love of God.
At least for the rules written of Legacy, I haven't looked into 2025 or anything. I don't know.
Well,
how that
we
works.
can sell it, dude. It's not that.
If an
big.
Aarakocra could fly and wear heavy armor, literally unkillable. God.
I'll still pass off to him anyway. Because I figure he would have passed it on to me, and I'd have been like, it's not as good as my holy armor, and I'll pass it on to him.
I'll pull off my fucking fucked beyond repair scale armor and slide the shirt on.
Yeah, you're like, oh man.
You notice that the shirt is beyond light. It almost feels like you're literally putting on a piece of cloth.
Ooh.
The weight that it provides your body is next to nothing. I believe it also has the added bonus benefit that you don't roll at like disadvantage on stealth checks or something.
The Elven Chainmail, you still had to roll a disadvantage, so.
You sure?
Yeah. Because when I added it to my inventory, it was like disadvantage.
Dude, think about how fucked your scale mail is. You died in that armor.
Yeah.
Literally.
I got hit by a cannonball in the armor.
Dude, literally, you're like, man, I wish I had this shit in the jungle.
Elven chain shirt, You gain +1 AC while you wear this armor. It's 14 plus Dex mod.
But I don't think you have disadvantage on stealth checks with regular chain shirt just because it's medium armor.
Then you probably do not.
Because, I mean, I don't have it with the breastplate.
What's your Dex modifier?
Like my
Your plus to Dex.
1.
1. So you
Say,
would have this.
that's my saving. It'd be 1.
1. So you would have the same. You would have you'd have 16 AC if you were this.
Ooh.
It'd be 14 plus 1 to your Dex modifier, and the item is enchanted, so it gives you a flat bonus 1 AC. So you would have 14
take
plus 1
that.
plus 1.
Yoink.
That's pretty big.
So it is an upgrade.
That's pretty good. for you.
Whether Elven Chain is like the normal name, but it's Elven Chain shirt total, but it's Elven Chain in like raw. Should show up. Piece of beautiful armor. Otherwise,
So I'll look to Roger and Calfane and be like, can I talk to you guys about something
Of course,
a little
brother.
bit more important? Alright.
stop. You're
Sorry,
having
it's cool too.
No, I get it. So I need to go to Castral. I understand if you
And I-
don't want to come with me,
I fully intend on following
but as soon as our stay is done here, I'm leaving for that. You guys do not have to come with me. I'll speak to Tyrone about this situation when it arises. Do not feel obligated to come, but that is where I will be heading. If that means that I will split from the broken bottles, so be it. But it's my destiny. To fulfill it.
I fully intend on helping you.
I know.
I give Molnir.
It's mostly for Roger.
I give
know
Molnir
you
big,
have to.
big hug while he's talking.
So I'm like talking, and then you just come. I'm like, all right.
And I just smush him.
You get smushed.
Does this mean that
I don't know yet.
you don't know yet? Are you gonna betray another god? I kind of giggle.
I just go like this, like.
I mean, to be fair, from what I've heard, you did say you have a little bit of time.
I do have very, very little time. But
I would say how long could it take, but based on the jungle,
We have to.
half a
We
fucking
have to
year.
go a long way. There's no teleportation circus into the Gravitar Dominion.
Well, I mean, thankfully we're
Somewhat close.
pretty
Closer
close to the
than
border.
we're as close as we've ever been. I mean,
No circles, you know.
well, according to the school,
well, yeah,
solving
I know,
this
but,
means bad anyways, and the school is planning on doing something about it.
The
we
rift.
hope.
Yeah,
I
and the school doesn't want to solve the rift, as in starting a war with both countries or picking
Listen,
a side.
whether
well,
the rift problem is exuberant
It's
and large.
insanely concerning to me. But
It's in concern to everyone.
It
as,
will.
as a holy man, the fact that his deity spoke to him, that is something I cannot ignore.
I'm saying to it for now, the rift can go fuck itself.
Oh,
I'm trying to figure shit out at the
Oh.
moment.
I thought you were saying we should do the rift first.
I know
You can't.
it does make sense to close the rift first.
It makes
It's
absolute sense
going-
to close the rift first, but
But I mean, we don't know as much as more than I don't think.
no, we don't. And I don't think Semi gives 1, 2, or 3 fucks. He just
As long as
wants
you're surviving,
my
I
cup.
don't think he cares.
If he got the cup tomorrow and the world fell, he'd be like, "Oh, sweet,
Yeah.
this is awesome. This
Yeah.
is fucking sick.
They didn't deserve it. They didn't survive.
Didn't survive. You guys suck. I have the cup." That's literally Semyon. He's like, "I got the cup.
That's all that matters.
I'm listening to Limp Bizkit with the cup."
Suck
Fuck you.
my dick, Sissinek.
Hey, Sissinek, check this out, dude. Oh, he's like taking pictures and sending it to him. He's like,
He's got his
Um,
fucking Instagram.
yeah, he's on Instagram. Fuck you, Sissinek.
Are you
got the
still-
cup? Hashtag
Hashtag.
better deity.
Hashtag child's
He's
play.
still embarrassed.
Yeah, he's still with, yeah. But Regardless, if you guys want to help close the rift, that is a very noble cause, and I will not
lie,
deny
the
your
rift does concern me.
noble cause. I want to close the rift as much as everybody in this
We'll wait for
country, the realm.
We'll wait for Bird Boys.
I just
Like
feel
that.
like I feel like the rift.
I wanted to bring this up now. Sit on it. Think about it. Doesn't have to be a decision today. I think I don't know how long we're staying for. Maybe another day.
at least as long as it takes for Tyrone to finish his training.
You guys just think on it. Think about it hard. It's a very important decision for not only us, but the livelihood of the entire realm. Because
Would you
that
mind,
rift is bad news.
Would you mind showing me where the library is?
Of course. I open the door and I start leaving towards the library. And I'll bring
You
the
arrive.
books that I took with me too.
You want to return them?
I'll return the.
Please return it.
I'll return one of them. I'll return the God book. I'm gonna hang on to the island one.
Okay. Oh, already finished with that one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, perfect. Anything else?
Do you have any books on? I got 2 topics that I'm looking for here. I guess 3. Well, no, 2, I suppose. One. Do you have anything
Strong
on
enough.
lore?
Or you could just fucking steal it.
Plenty.
Who gives a shit?
One of the most
Very well.
well-known
I'm taking this one.
Yeah.
dark side of England princes that have ever existed, of course.
It's of my people. So,
It's not of my people.
in a way.
I'll just take like anything on her history and what physical form she takes. Anything on her worshippers you have, and then I would like to read a little bit more on the Shadowfell if you have anything about that.
Okay. He says, well, give me but a moment. And he begins to peruse the shelves, as he's done before for you, as you stand. He returns with 2 books. One book is of the entire Dark Seldering. The secondary book is A View into the Landscape of Torment, is its title. And it describes what some of the matriarchs of the Underdark go through, trying to become zealots for her cause. It's written in a very like wartime journalist type beat, where it's like, I'm behind enemy lines, I don't ask questions, this is fully observatory, and therefore you're not sure the efficacy of it, like what level of truth does it hold. It's definitely like they did this. Is that the reason for it? It's hard to tell, because you're not asking. If you ask, you're not writing the book anymore. So
Yeah.
he does speak up after he hands you these 2, though. He says, unfortunately, most of the books on the Shadowfell have been requested by Jeraga himself, and I do not have access to most of them. He is reading them over as we speak, and so those would have to be read at a separate time.
Fair enough. Thank you for your
Of course,
due diligence in finding these.
anything for members of the Academy. And he goes back to just reading his shit.
Wait, I'm not a member of the academy yet, but damn.
Do you have anything on another deity goes by the name of Sisanek?
Specific.
Other than that book that you showed me.
I could look. Give me a moment. Let me actually puzzle the scorekeeper for a moment. And he walks upstairs for a moment.
Yes.
Is that book with that book that I gave back to him still sitting there?
Yeah.
Can I open it back up to the Semuana Sisanek part?
Sure.
Is there, other than it explaining like their pseudo rivalry or whatever, is there any other gods connected to these 2? Like, is there any gods connected to Sistanek that would explain who the fuck the guy was. Like, anything referencing the guy that was in that dimension.
Nothing at all. Just there's discussion in that book. It seems to be a very surface level understanding of like what their purposes were and how people like referred to them and how they showed respect and lineage to them. But it doesn't have like references to like certain specific rituals that they would do, certain connections to other deities, their realms, what were their powers, how do they present themselves, the physical inspirations, which there's nothing that piques you about this person that you saw in the other realm. As you were still waiting for your friend. Interesting.
As soon as he gets the books he wants, I'll probably just go back and read some shit. I'm only saying that for a second.
He does return down the stairs, and he has a small piece of paper in his hand. And he like begins to try to read the walls, and he seems to be looking for something that even he didn't know really was there. He finds a book. He brings it up front. He goes, "It's not much. Jaguar said it might help." And he hands it to you. And it is a overview of the Blood War and the conflict and how it's like upper demons versus lower devils, and the culmination of how like there's parts of it that want it to end for good or for bad reasons. And that Susanek's name's mentioned in it like twice. That he was a part of the Blood War, and he's like, this shit's fucking taking forever. I'm annoyed. I'm gonna go to my own pocket dimension, basically. And that's the breadth of what's
It doesn't say
described.
anything about how he's connected to Semi.
Just that he is the form of a demon lord lizard, and that many lizard folk refer to him as a deity, even though he is by all definitions
A demon.
a demon. They just refer to him as a great, a great presence, if you will.
He's like Morlog. Is there like a private corner in the library I can go to?
There's a lot of reading chairs that are like tucked away.
Let me go to one that's alone.
Sure.
Pull up Chouse again.
Full chest.
And what was your
Phylactery.
phylactery? I'm gonna focus really hard, and I'm gonna ask the chalice if I'm gonna say I'll ask if Sisanek's in there.
You purse the words on your lips. Small silence rings out after, and there's no response.
I know I can read every language. Does that mean I can write it?
I don't think so. Well, let's find out. Pull it up. Kaboom! Herm. Her. I'm gonna just like hotkey the name of this like weird feed thing you have.
Why is your head so big?
God, dude, you missed out, dude.
I don't think I did. I really don't think I did.
Me and my buddy at work have nonstop been doing Jennifer Coolidge.
I literally was screaming like
Oh
from
my
stealing
God.
the trailer the other day.
Oh, hot dogs.
Yeah.
Hot dogs. Oh,
Try this fucking
why
K-pop
is your
beer.
head so big?
Raspberries.
Raspberry ale, huh?
It's pretty
Fuck,
alright.
what did she say? It's about the
I-
personality.
It does smell like raspberry, not in like the way that
It
some
tastes like
other ones.
raspberries.
No, like not in the way that some others do though, where it like smells like sour raspberries.
So
it smells
eye
like
of the room.
Yeah,
You're
it's
studying.
not
You learn
sour.
one.
It's very nice.
You can read.
I'm glad
No,
about it.
just read. You can read all of
What's
my
the
writing.
matter for beer being sour?
Well, it's because they just thought of the improvement and don't do anything else about it.
Here, have a roll try.
I give a little prick to my hand and I drip it in the cup.
As the liquid enters the cup, it ceases to exist as the cup is incapable of holding liquid that isn't from its own origin,
No, yeah.
and nothing happens.
I say, oh, so you are alive. And I ask it again. Show me who created you.
It does not respond.
Ooh.
The cup seems dormant.
Cup don't give a fuck.
Seems like a cup.
I ask it to make me a potion of advantage.
You focus for the 10-minute ritual as you communicate with it mentally. You know, I want this, and you put that image in your mind, and soon the cup froths up.
Drink it.
You gain the effects of a potion of it, whatever the potion's called or whatever.
Potion, yeah.
Yeah.
Grant me a vision of Sisimic.
Roll me an Arcana check.
It blows up in your fucking hand, killing everyone in the room.
The chalice implodes. The god is dead.
The chalice is straight up like, shut the fuck up!
Vex is gonna go back and be like, oh my god, he's dead.
18.
Jesus.
It
What did that roll guy do?
does not respond.
It does not.
Oh my god, he's mad.
I give the cup. I put it in my pocket.
Fuck, I'll kill you.
Fuck up.
You both return to your dorm as you are experiencing
Yeah, just hell.
Hardcore,
it's
hardcore
so
pounding.
fucking bad. It's so bad. He begins to have to take it from the top, basically, of explaining how you have to understand that everything has power, even the air. You would know this, but
He said take it from the top.
it's more than you believe. He begins to describe how the magic doesn't come from within you for the spell, it's around you. It's the culmination of life. It's the culmination of everything that's in the room with you. Which is a weird experience. You know, the arcane for much of your life has been severe selfish power.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little bit different.
Severe.
And you begin to finally get the hang of it. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Are you sure it's not charisma?
I am 100% confident it is not charisma.
I think you said charisma.
W and C sound same.
Not good.
Charisma.
8.
8.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like things that I have a great plus to, I just roll fucking astronomically good on.
That's how
So
I-
I don't even fucking need it. Things that I suck at, I just roll like fucking dog shit. So it doesn't
Well,
matter.
things that I'm good at, I roll like dog shit. Things I'm bad at, I roll like dog shit.
My computer's thinking for the moment.
That's good.
Oh my god.
Mirax
Sorry.
just fucking killed him, bro.
That
You
scared the
focus
shit out of me.
and you finally get the singularity. It is mentally exhausting. And with a smirk of like, you're concentration lapses for
Yeah.
a frame, an absolute one frame shine. And you look away to look at Varix for approval, and the singularity collapses in on itself, immediately detonating. You take 38 frost damage.
That killed me. I'm down.
Imagine that. Fucking
What was
Varix
it? What did
killed-
you say?
38 frost damage.
Level 5. Fucking.
His face lights up like a Christmas tree seeing this.
I'm just on the ground. Fucking staring at the
He grabs you by the
I'm like,
shoulders and he
brother.
slaps you. He's like, slaps you around. He goes, "You've done it. You're there. You're there." He stands up, gets you on your feet. You're ready.
I don't feel so ready. I don't
Practice.
feel so good, coach.
Take time. And he hands you, because you just detonated the last one, he hands you 1 diamond worth 100 gold to use the spell.
Jesus Christ almighty.
And he says, with time, once you master it, you will not need these material components anymore. But it may take some experience. Regardless,
I don't know that I can afford this spell.
take some time every night to focus upon it. It may take days, weeks, years, even, but it'll prove fruitful. Every time you cast it, especially in battle, in the heat of the moment when your adrenaline's pumping, you'll learn truly what it means to master it. I am happy with your teachings. And he opens the door and goes, "I need water," and leaves.
I'm thirsty.
And leaves the door open for you to
Thirsty. I'm fucking thirsty.
You have gained 1 diamond worth of 100 gold.
I take it.
It's on your
Tyrone looks at it and he goes, "God."
It's a big fucking diamond.
Yeah, it's a huge rock.
It's like a fucking little bevel.
I want just to add the raw gold.
100 gold, baby. Let's go.
It's like Tyrone immediately sells it.
That's
For
2
100 gold.
revivifiers.
It's only 50 gold for Revivify?
I thought so.
I think it's 100. I thought it was.
I thought it was 100, but it might not be. Who knows? Revivify.
It did not add a +1 to my AC.
Maybe I did the math wrong. I'll have to look at it.
Oh, diamonds worth 300.
Yeah,
bucks,
no,
Jesus
not even,
Christ.
not even close. Did it really not?
I thought
Unless
it
it's
was
not
50 for some reason.
You have 1 dex. It's 14 plus your dex.
Do we still have a 300 gold diamond?
Someone
Oh,
does.
max 15? Maybe, I don't know. I'll look.
I feel like we have.
I thought you
do.
Yeah, I've got
Someone had it. I thought we gave it to you.
No, I think it's you.
Me?
No,
It was
Calfane.
definitely
Yeah.
Calfane has it.
not me. Oh, you have it?
Have what?
Because remember
The
having,
300
I
gold fucking-
remember, because I have Revivify,
The
and I was
super
like, if Calfane goes down, I'm gonna rip that fucking diamond out of his butthole, out of
Yeah,
God's pocket.
You're
And I'm gonna revive
It's
him.
literally just like already carved into a butt plug. Whatever cleric carries it.
I immediately seek medical attention.
Where?
Fucking anywhere. I don't. I'm
You
asking
walk out of the
anyone.
room and you're like leaning against the wall, and people like.
I'm just covered in blood.
One guy passes you and he like stops. And he looks back and you're holding your arm, you have like chunks of flesh missing. Cause it wasn't just like, oh, cold. Like you sent off giant shards of basically pristine glass, detonating at velocities untold by man into your body from point blank frag grenade range. So the left half of your body it looks like meat. No feather.
I just go, "Hey man, you know where I can get a doctor around here?"
My God, of course, please follow me with haste. And
Fucking go.
he
Type-
takes you to a
And
portion.
Varax was just like, yeah, dude, this is great.
Rex is like, "Dude,
See something in you.
congrats.
And that would
You did it." And I'm like,
you
"Old man, I'm dying."
gain
Right.
the ability that when you unlock that level spell, we talked about it, you will have the ability to learn that spell for free as you've taught it. It won't count against your spells known for that level.
Yeah.
So that is just a freebie you get when you have
Yeah.
access to those spell slots. So, who knows if you'll successfully be able to cast it. You feel, though, you've learned a lot in the last 2 days about what it means to be a magician.
I feel like I'm dying.
As you're taken to a portion of the academy that has a small nursing healing office, as they use some incantations to try to mend your wounds over time. And over the course of the next 30 minutes, you would heal. I'm gonna roll for it.
I'm in super magic school. They should be able to just fucking be like, "Boom, you're fixed, 100%, baby."
You gotta go to the cleric.
You
and-
heal for 12 HP.
I'll take it. That's
As they
One more
also
night
begin
for
to bandage you up, aside from like the immediate first aid, like you're bleeding profusely.
Oh yeah.
But you are patched slightly, and they say, you know, you're welcome to stay until we can get someone else in here to look at you, but we'll find you if you need more attention. Like, whatever. How you feeling? You all right, dog? Like, what the fuck's going on?
I go, I've been through so much worse.
Valid.
It just sucked, and I needed some help.
Man, if only there was a healer.
Thank you for your help.
I imagine he's like,
I guess now I'm just really waiting for Mr. Dwarf Man.
I'm in the room, dude.
Dwarf.
Honestly, Molier would probably
Different Dwarf Man. The
Molier's
one.
probably
The
realizing
one.
like God and friend, like, or my best friends ever. Like, he's probably day drinking at 9 a.m.
He's absolutely.
Also, I think
So
it's
what's
funny.
the difference, like, between sad Molnir and normal Molnir? He's day drinking and I am.
Probably nothing. But it is funny. He's like,
Stay
you're now,
behind.
dude, you're doing magician shit. It's just like Barracks is teaching you that fucking stupid thumb thing.
He was like, here's how you cast this
So
spell.
I'm tied to. So what card?
Alright, I want you to pick a card.
Remember this card.
He turns into Chris Angel. He's just-
You return to the room then,
Yeah, I mean, I
or
already,
not?
I mean, I already pitched my, hey, I need fucking this item. We'll get the dwarf, and then we'll fucking figure that out. So I would assume, hey, they're figuring it out.
Today's session of learning was a little bit shorter. It's not like the whole day's gone. You've been gone for about 3 hours, so it's like not. It's like barely.
I don't want to harass the one maker. I don't even fucking know where he is. So I'll rest. I got fucked. I woke up, still exhausted, and then blew myself up with a pound of C4. And now I just want to go lay back in bed.
Valid.
Productive day for Tyrone. I'm going to hope that I hear about my item that I needed or that I requested be made or fucking whatever.
So he's going back. You're going back to the room, right?
Going back.
I would, when he enters, I take it like Calvin being a healer would probably stop reading and be like, dude, what the fuck happened to you, bro?
Do you need a
Little incident spell casting,
And I'll,
you know.
I'll cast third level Aura of Vitality and spend the next minute giving him
2d6?
that's 2d6 every 10 seconds for a minute. So
You heal the full over the course of the
Holy fuck. I go, listen, bro.
it's 12d6.
You could teach them fucking doctors a thing or two. That's crazy
Did
shit.
they not heal you all the way? Well,
I take it
they're
a place
not
like this-
clerics, but I guess the
They're not
magicians,
closing
right?
it.
Yeah.
I was
they're
gonna
not
say
clerics,
this,
they're
a place
fucking-
like this probably not fucking.
I just figured they would have had some
Religious.
crazy magics. Tyrone, I need you to talk to you about something. While you're here, I know you're tired. I understand that.
Tired and now I'm fine, honestly. I was dying moments ago, and suddenly I'm like, alright.
So,
okay.
I need to go to Khazral. I assumed you gathered that from what I was saying.
I heard about that. I heard about that one or two times.
So after we're done here at the academy, I plan to go there whether you follow or not. I've laid this out to Rolger and Cafe. Whether you plan to follow or not is completely up to your discretion, but that is where I'll be heading, with or without all of you. I understand it may be a hard decision, considering there is something detrimental to humanity out there. But go ahead and sleep on it. Think about it. If you want to help out with the rift or follow me into the Golden Mountains, I will not knock you for choosing whatever you wish. Both, well, I guess one is more noble. I guess closing a rift is probably more noble than following a drunk dwarf into the mountains of gold.
Not just a
When
drunk
you put it
dwarf.
like that.
Good friend.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, Molier, honestly, Molier's probably like a little like hammered. He's just like fucking. He's like, God damn it, dude. This shit sucks. This shit's, dude. Fuck. Dude, this shit's gonna kill us all.
I mean, the broken bottles have definitely been more hospitable than a lot of the fucking people we've come across, I feel like. To Tyrone, of course. So Tyrone would be like, broken bottles first, for sure. But he'd also be like, hey man, I get it. Threat assessment here.
I understand. So, go ahead and rest on it. I assume you've had a fun day with Varix, considering you came back bloodied and bruised.
Came back missing half an arm, bro.
It was fun for Varix, apparently. He fucking loved it.
So Varix is your domination.
Varix just likes to see me hurt, apparently.
Varix might be a masochist. Actually, no, he wouldn't, because he's hurting others. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
What do the others say? Hey boys. What are we thinking here?
I have already.
I know you have your things going on.
Rolga has a tough decision ahead of him, and I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. Choosing between to follow his friends.
You're in the same boat, though.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. And yet we, both of us,
Are in the same boat.
are facing shit.
As far as your question goes, Sir Tyrone, I've made up my mind, but I do not wish for my decision to affect yours.
Yeah, what do you want? We're a team here. You're
We
a
are.
broken
I'm
bottle.
gonna be honest.
We are a team.
You've, put your life on the line just as much as the rest of us.
Calphane has pulled his weight for quite some time. It's very nice.
We are a team, but at the end of the day, I feel like this is a cataclysm where either we go our own ways or we continue adventuring on as a party. And I don't wish to drag someone along on a path that they do not wish to be on.
Shit.
Roger gets a shit-eating grin on his face and says, "The Golden Mountains are my home too." The school doesn't even necessarily want to solve this issue right away. They're still trying to figure
They're
it out.
stuck between a rock and a hard place.
We're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Everybody's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Well,
The Zuna Z still looms.
It's either the rift that, well, the Zuna Z, I don't think we're getting down there for a while.
No.
Not that I saw it to
It'd be
fucking
this-
begin with, but
Dude. Many a day's travel even to get to the Zuna Sea.
We have to cross the border, get to the Zuna Z.
We'd have to go to Concordia, is what he said, correct?
Yeah.
And then
For
travel upwards, because
yeah.
there's
No.
no tell.
Probably be the easiest
It
way.
would be
for
interesting
sure.
to see this town.
What is Concordia?
Just a
again?
road
Concordia
talked
is
about.
this one.
No,
so
down.
there's-
Oh, way
there's-
down.
there's-
Left. Wait, you're right.
Right,
Sorry.
you're
Right.
right.
Up. Right there.
Fuck
That's
that.
the capital of Siegmund Kingdom.
No!
Dude, that's literally what we did for the fucking jungle art.
That's what we did for the jungle.
I
That's
mean,
where it was.
the jungle arc was chosen. This is forest. There is no.
The jungle arc sucked ass, by the way.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
There's bits
That
that
was-
honestly
Honestly-
arc that are so fucking good though.
That was
Yeah.
No.
Finding the Jade statue, killing the pirates, the fucking
No.
shit.
killing
Storm-
the pirates was not fucking great for me.
But
dog.
what a crazy chain of
Dude,
events.
honestly,
that fucking
hold
went
up.
down.
Hold up. Honestly, Brady might be Matt Mercer.
All right, we're back.
All right, so I'm
It'll
entering
happen
with
soon.
3 guys who serve 3 different gods who want them to do 3 different things.
Not two. Two. His god is pretty chill right now.
His god's pretty chill, but when is his god not going to be chill? At what point is your god that
Next
gave
session.
you a divine mission
I'm
gonna
legitimately.
say, "Hey man, you fucked off and completely just abandoned your people. I actually need you to fucking do something."
I've been doing what my god wanted this whole damn time. I have been straight up trying so hard to find any ally I can.
That's happening next session.
Next session, Brady's gonna be like, "Yo, dude, I need you down there.
Yeah.
I need you on the front lines."
That would be pretty funny. Brady, write that in.
Driders are coming out of the woodworks. I need you down there right now.
Well, whatever. I know we all worship different gods. I know my way.
Listen, I'm more than happy to go fucking ravage some elves in a Dwarven kingdom.
Well, it's not.
It's not elves.
Ravage? What do you mean by this?
There's a.
You know,
What do you mean
He's
by
gonna
that?
he gonna bend over some elves.
What do
you
you
know
mean by
exactly
what do you mean by that?
you
So-
I don't even need to fucking go.
Oh, all right.
Tyrone, there's a nomadic elvish tribe within the Graviton Dominion, but they're the people who enslaved me. But honestly, they were, grasping for gold where they could. They saw a defeated kingdom. They went and did what they wanted to.
So we're gonna go
Understand
kill.
that.
Let's go beat their ass.
It's not the main objective. As much as I would like to slay the men that has enslaved me, it is what it is. I understand that in this world,
This is
What?
not Molnir from day one.
This is
This is a different.
absolutely
this
not
is a,
Molnir.
this is a way different Molnir than.
listen. Here's
I
the
was
deal.
a slave.
Hang
You know,
on.
it just kind of it is what it is, man. It
Literally-
really just
Well, I mean, to be fair, it does match with his behavior so far because anytime he's been like, dude, I hate slavery, and then anytime it's like, yeah, they're slaves, he's just like, dude, it is what it is. They need to just get better. Get out.
It is what it is.
Just buy your freedom, dude. Just get a job. Stop being homeless.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
Pull yourself by your bootstraps. Get out of slavery. You
When
dumb
I was a kid, I walked 15 miles to school every day.
Well,
My
I
point-
think
no
Tyrone's
offense, but it's just
point.
kinda funny.
No.
I'm more than down to help out the dude that's literally saved
I-
my life so many times I can't even count.
Yeah.
So, by all means, I'm
If-
fucking down for that.
if
I'm
those
just like, will there not be a calling from one of these two before we get there? Will the world fucking even still be there? Will the Golden Mountains be there? Or will this rift have fucking eaten them
if they need
by
to
the time we
leave,
get there?
you can go help them. I will be on my own path.
I mean,
I hope-
I personally don't foresee myself being pulled away.
I hope that you help them. Rogue is in a very strange predicament.
Until Fate is a
I'm
dumb
saying
guy.
I want to help, by all means. I'm just worried if that thing is going to stop us from even showing up.
And I understand that, and I understand if you want to go close it. By hell or high water, I will have my crusade. If it means that I reclaim what was mine, and the world ends the next day, so be it. I will be in the loving embrace of Morden's arms. Shit, dude, I got tingles.
I won't be. I won't be.
And
I have a feeling that his deity knows
That's-
more than we do.
Tyrone, that is why I say...
There ain't anything for me after this, dog. I got this going for me right
Tyrone,
now.
that is why I say, if you wish to close a rift, then close a rift. Maybe we will meet in another lifetime.
We don't know how to close
So
it.
the school doesn't know how to close the rift.
I mean,
the
yeah,
school
exactly.
doesn't
If we-
know how to close the
Even
rift.
if we get down there, what
if
are we gonna
close
do?
the rift, then war breaks out.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
If we close, like, what are we gonna do if we get down there? If we close the rift, the war gets worse.
The war will get worse.
If we don't close the rift, we risk it eating the entire world. Like,
Yeah, it's like
This is
war
really-
getting worse. Literally everything disappearing.
it's like,
Everyone disappearing and everyone dying.
it's like,
I'll
I don't-
take the war.
It's
honestly.
not
the
a-
dragon
I
think-
left the
I
golden
think
mountains.
if they are
the golden
able-
dawn, once the golden sun
pick
returned to
war.
the golden mountains.
like, trust me,
Or
I
hate
understand,
straight.
but like the
What's the name
the
of the
war
squad
getting
again?
worse is fine in
The-
comparison.
To-
The
yeah.
guy
Yeah,
But I have a
elephant.
I have a feeling that his
Oh,
deity knows more than we do.
Jerrigar.
Absolutely.
Jerrigar
Dude, the
Talisha.
golden dragon left the golden mountains, and then his god said, "Come to the golden mountains right now."
If Jerrigar is able to prescribe peace among these nations, they can put the efforts towards this rift.
That's definitely
I can't say
Well,
what
we can
I
hope.
think gonna say because that
We've
was
fucking
Lucas's
hoped
mind,
for
not
years
mine.
now.
We can only hope more. 'Cause as bleak as things may seem, the hope is the only thing that we have.
It is.
I believe there is.
Fucking base this shit.
I am gonna go find Jaredar.
You travel to the Grand Archive,
Yeah.
and as you get close to approaching his stairwell, there are now the 2 guards stationed there, but they see you approach and immediately recognize you and move out of the way. It seems that Jaredar has informed them of.
I don't even fucking look at him. I just go up the stairs.
You ascend to the rotunda that was there, and the walls sprawling to the ceiling, filled with books floating, and his like pure gold lectern that he sits at, heavy ink and quill in hand, like transcribing while like reading. And he's entering. He closes the book and says, "Well, come to see me so soon."
Yeah. Been talking with the group a lot, and we're, trying to figure out where we're going from here.
Sure.
The dwarf fella has his divine calling, pulling him towards the Golden Mountains to reclaim his homeland that was taken from him this week.
I see.
My concern is the obvious thing. That's eating the
Your
sky.
concern is shared with many.
My concern is that. What are we thinking? Have you learned anything from?
Shadowfell is a place of despair, of the bleakness of reality, the absence of life. And what life that does dwell there is usually
What the hell is that making?
augmented by
It's fermenting real
the
good. I
sadness
stole some yeast
around.
from work.
Whatever the reason for the rift's opening, and whatever the reason for the creatures coming out of it, whatever it is pure destruction.
I'm excited.
Aside from that, I am unable to discern what the next steps are. I've done my research, and I will continue to do so until we make a fruitful decision, as the council will, and the new headmaster Dominus. But my job is always to collect and preserve knowledge. Using it for executable decision making is not. It is not a one-man job. It is of the academy as a whole. I wish I had more to give.
I take a seat, and I just fucking literally. Let me come back up. There we go. I just sit there like this.
More will be told once we find volunteers to at least report back something. It's hard to understand what is there, but I'm sure in the coming days we will learn more than we had known up to this point. We must break the silence on our aid and at least learn what we can, even if it does risk implication of the opposing kingdoms.
At this point, I mean, what else do we got? You know?
This is why I am reading tirelessly, recalling all the bits of history I have stored over my many millennia.
Well,
Ancient magics not even transcribed by hand, but instead by word. Stories of previous keepers, overseers, and headmasters. That is my job, is to retain this knowledge. I just have to find the right knowledge to pull out of it, to use. What is left?
well, I appreciate you seeing me. And I appreciate you letting me stop by. And I wish you the best of luck in the research.
Sure. And I hope that whatever path is lied, as I said previously, your fate is your own. I hope that whatever awaits you is fulfilling and worth the wait.
I stand up and I go, me too.
And I fucking walk out.
Thanks for letting me come bother you. Marches in past the guards. What do we do? It's just funny. It's funny.
I mean, to be fair,
I mean, to be fair, I mean, like
Dude's
his
cool, dude.
characters put his whole faith in the damn academy. So
Yeah.
Jerrigar has also only been, out of a coma.
for fucking 2
For-
hours.
As of this
2
point,
hours.
a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, a day.
24 hours.
24 hours,
A
yeah.
day and a half.
So,
It's like 1 p.m. maybe.
yeah. So maybe he.
You wake up from a coma and immediately some 3-year-old is like, "What do I do?"
Hey, man.
I'm saying compared to him.
So
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What do I do?
Hey, man,
You
your
got
world's
games on your
falling
iPhone?
apart.
Like-
Can you figure this shit out
You have
already?
games on your phone? Can I play tag in the parking lot? I don't fucking know, dog.
Okay.
Listen, from everything Tyrone knows, this is the guy that knows fucking everything about everything. So he's like, hey man, my buddies want to go to the Golden Mountains. Are they even gonna be there? When we go to cross the border, are there going to be Golden Mountains over there?
I was saying it makes sense for your character to act like that
Yeah.
because you put your faith in the fucking academy. So that was basically what I was.
Hey man, I'm in the place of all knowledge ever. Not even Tyrone. Xavier's feeling like one of these motherfuckers
As you
is gonna
leave
know everything.
the academy, you do come across a dwarf, his head darting from side to side. He locks eyes with you. And he just turns around and keeps walking.
Oh,
Takes you down to the lobby, door to door, alleyway, stairwell, descent. It's a fucking labyrinth in this
up,
bitch.
down, left,
You
right.
move 10 feet.
He does the Konami code, but through the hallways. Up, down, left, right, back,
Dude,
back.
there's something
A, B, A, B.
familiar about this. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Into his workshop that you've been before, and he says, Oi, how's she been holding up?
Oh, man. The stories I could fucking tell you.
So I did good.
Oh, God. It's gotten us into trouble and out of trouble more times than I can count.
Well,
Blicky.
if anything, I made it
Sticky.
based on your personality, so it's really you that's gotten yourself into and out of trouble. Just saying, you are your own solution to your own problems. But Varak said you wish to speak to me
Yes.
about a specific dragon talisman.
Yes.
Explain.
Explain. I have no idea how to even describe this thing.
A certain item of this.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
You do the Sims, you go, "Blah, blah."
Yeah, I speak to him like that.
He done by him, Mahaba?
He's perfect, dude.
Just like that. Just like that.
Fuck.
He says, now obviously something of that prominence I do not have on hand, but I could easily formulate something like that. It would be a heavy investment.
I'm aware.
But I wish for my name to be known through the realms as the greatest tinkerer to ever be.
Trust me, everyone who has come across me has definitely gotten a little piece of you. Too. So.
This motherfucker is definitely an artificer.
My concern is this would not be an easy thing to make. It would take me some time.
I look at my watch. Like, how much are we talking here?
Well, a week. I feel like I could provide you with the necessary precision. Sorcery components of this stature are very difficult to come by, especially built to order.
I understand. Can I find you here in like hour and a half?
Yeah,
I'll let you know by then.
sounds good.
I go back to the
He
boys.
says, before you go, at least let me clean it.
Does I got the holster way after I met him.
Oh, yeah.
So I literally fucking whip it out of the holster.
He goes, let me see your ID, and you...
Fucking,
quick access. He looks at it, there's like bits of flesh on it from people you've blown apart.
oh yeah, like point blank, just fucking bang.
He goes, I will make sure there's no cracks in the haft. And you pick it up whenever it's convenient.
I appreciate it.
And he already goes back and he pulls out like a little steel brush and like a toothbrush, basically. He's like, and like slabs of meat and hair fall off of it. You've literally pointed it at things from 5 feet away and turned them into a fine mist.
Absolutely.
So,
and I don't
Run
regret
into your
it
parents
for
at
even
fucking
one.
it's been used.
I'm
Otherwise,
still waiting to
a
run into
lot.
your parents.
He gets
Oh,
to-
fucking lot.
He
I
gets
go
to giving it
there
a nice
a lot.
servicing. He services your rod.
You can all go.
If you
Yeah, sure.
It has been used quite literally every combat.
Your rod?
So
Yeah, of course.
it's been used so much. It's crazy.
How many charges do you want to use? All of them?
Boom! I do those in the big fights.
Literally a fucking 44 mag, just
Question.
Yeah.
If you
Elephant
make a
round.
teleportation circle like we did in the temple, and then you travel to the school, could you travel back to that one you made? It's gone.
It's technically not even a circle. You're basically painting like a fucking band-aid on the ground. You're like, I'm using this to communicate with the circle. The magic that you use is like eviscerated after your departure. If you were leaving another circle, then maybe. But
Could you... That's such a weird question. If you were to travel like way the fuck out, whatever, and you were to make a circle, you made the circle, like the band-aid you talked about, and then you were to go to some other teleportation circle, could you teleport to that one? Or could you only use that one to get somewhere? Could you use that one?
so wait, say I, Roger, go way far out.
I go way the fuck out there, and
And-
I make the teleportation circle.
You spend a year making it, or you
No,
just
I do
cast
the-
the
I
spell?
do, I cast
oh,
the
you
spell.
just cast the spell. Okay.
And then he uses a teleportation circle
Yes.
at the school. Could you travel to the one I just made?
No.
It's only a one way.
It's
It's an A to
basically
B.
it's like landlines. Like you have
Yeah.
to have a fucking Ethernet cable to your house to be able to go to it. To cast the spell, you can cast it anywhere. You can dial your cell phone anywhere you want, but you have to know the number you're calling,
Okay.
and it has to be like
It's
a
an A to B
hard-
only.
Yeah.
Not.
Dude, it's like the spell that I cast is like a burner phone.
Yeah.
And
you're-
I call
you're-
that number.
you're dialing
And as
in.
soon as I dial the number, the phone explodes and it's gone forever.
Yeah. So
That's a
for the
good way to
purposes of the
describe it.
spell, when you use it as a 10-minute action, because you're casting it fast, it is A to B. You can spend a year casting it every day and then create a B to B and make it transversal, but it's on the instantaneous thing. That's why they were describing they were building one and like going through the necessary motions to create one at the academy in Ignat, the new academy branch in Ignat.
Which is hilarious. I'll have to get the coordinates for that eventually down the line.
You are well known there. Well, maybe it's been a while, but
It's been a while.
I don't know.
They got a statue.
Literally
of us.
everyone who was there met us.
all 8 of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
All 8 of the people that still lived on the coast.
So they were straight up probably just like, yo, dude, there was a bird, a Goliath, a human, and a dwarf that literally saved this entire damn town.
The beast.
So
That's
Kelthane would not
slave
be recognized.
bodies.
There's gonna be a
Everyone
statue
else.
of you holding this fucking.
I
wheel
fucking
over your
hope
head.
so, dude. I hope so.
I would go back to the room and pitch my case and be like, listen, guys. I need this magic artifact to do some wild shit. It's gonna take a minute. But after that, I'm good to go.
Hey, his god was quite direct. No detours.
Yeah, I'm good to go. But I have to wait for this thing.
Oh, like here?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you meant like we had to go.
No, we're not going somewhere else. I just have to wait here for this thing to be handcrafted.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna be here anyway, so.
So it's just gonna take
At least a week.
At least a week.
A week.
A week's time. A small week's time. You
Yeah.
know, it's 1 week.
Maybe you should talk to the guy who needs to leave. Maybe you
Hey,
should.
guy
maybe-
who needs to leave.
Hey, what's up?
He was just
My
explaining
case.
to the party that he needs to stay here for a week.
One singular week.
And then he's good to go.
And then I'm good to go to the Gold Mountains.
It would give me time to finish my books, I suppose.
And I point to the fat ass book.
And
on
all
the
I'm
wall.
saying is the abilities that it would help me with would absolutely help you. Absolutely.
Do they do like, same day
This-
delivery or what?
As sad as I am to say it, it's actually I phrased that quite poor. Yeah. We'll stay another week, but at the end of that week, I want to try and leave early in the morning so we can get a head start. Is that okay?
Of course.
Yeah, I phrased
I
that
fucking spring
I don't know
back
what
to
the
war.
fuck
So
I'm
you're
gonna do.
staying at the academy for an additional week.
I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do for a damn week.
Yeah, we'll probably have to like fast track it a little bit.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
Molly, or like read some books.
Are you
and
good
shit.
with that, Roller?
Is there
Didn't
like
mean
a
to gloss
cleric
over you there, bud.
division
Borrow
of
time.
this
It's okay.
school or whatever?
Not that you've seen.
I'll
Hey,
just,
man.
I'll be like, look at him. and
There's
I'll be
nothing
like,
I can do anyways.
they
So.
completely fucking ignore the divine.
Well, you can do whatever you want.
Wait, what?
So they're
Really?
completely fucking ignoring the divine.
Roller wants to do it.
As
Magic.
long
Magic in its own sense.
I'd sprint back.
Not even a
Turn back
single
and I say-
cleric here.
I wrote his name down.
they're more
I don't know what it
interested in the clericism and
His name is.
magic is derived from gods.
Yeah. I take it
There's
they're
not
more,
many-
they're more invested in the not like the
Where
book
the fuck
knowledge.
What?
is this?
Hey Brady,
Yeah.
is there
Well,
any healing magics that are more intertwined with sorcery and more arcane arts rather than the divine?
Very few.
Incantar.
And Kantar Kilmer.
I'm fucking excited.
That's why
Kantar?
they suck fucking ass.
Let's get this thing rolling. What do you need from me?
Raw gold.
I fucking just whip out my sack.
About 400 gold worth.
Boom.
If you want me to try it.
400.
I'll just pour
You
some of the
pay him
candy
400
straight
gold?
the rest out of the can.
Yeah.
Okay. He
I don't
immediately
wanna
gives you
smell
back your wand
You don't want
and
some?
sets
I
to
do
work.
wanna smell
He
it.
says,
That's
I will
why I
be as
wanna
expedient
smell
as I can.
I want to do full
Appreciate your
sensory
hard
of this fucking thing.
I'll give you the
Don't give me
I
mine.
will eagerly
That's good.
await hearing word from you.
Smells like cinnamon,
I'll
dude.
head out.
Okay.
Take my wand
Yeah.
back in the
When you
holster.
pour that out, smell it. It smells like fucking cinnamon.
Paid in full.
You guys have 7
It smells like
days.
ginger snap.
What do you want to do?
I'm fucking
Minimum
speedrunning
of
it.
7 days.
I'm speedrunning it.
You're just gonna fucking sleep, eat, shit, sleep. That's what you want to do?
Roger can
Like the
cry,
There's nothing wrong with that.
A little
pout,
bit hammered.
stomp, and
It's just
shout,
hard to tell.
and tell the chalice to go fuck itself in every shape and way and form.
Every language you know.
This
Fuck
one
you,
was
fuck you, fuck
probably
you.
I would
Besides
I'd attend
this
some
one.
classes in in the time. I do want to
I actually really like
at least see.
Well, I've only been smelling it so
fucking
far.
what's his face?
$6 beer.
That's pretty
Southern
good.
city that we teleported to.
No, drink Respite. Drink Respite.
it. Don't like it?
House Southern.
Oh,
Like-
thank you.
The one that we teleported to.
Oh, Concordia?
What do you mean?
Right here?
Concordia, yeah. I want to talk to the dean of the school there.
Oh, you're here.
Killian,
Drive 30 minutes back to
Kill,
the fucking
I can pull.
place in house.
Killian
I don't know
Torok.
how I feel about that.
I can't.
That's what I wrote down. I have no idea if
That's
that's
like
right.
5 minutes away.
Hold on.
I'm gonna drive.
Let me.
30 minutes out? That's hard. That is hard. What'd you say?
I don't know how I feel about that one.
I don't know.
To me, it just kind of tastes like beef jerky. In a weird way. I don't know.
So there was 2 people from Concordia.
To
There
me,
was
personally.
Killen Tarov, which is the dean of students, and then there was Hinlar Tot, which was the court wizard who was like, dude, just break the law. Academy knowledge comes.
That guy was.
Yeah, he was the tiefling that was like academy knowledge comes before everything.
Not
Yeah,
quite
he
as
was
bad as
here.
that on Bash.
He was here. He's part of the
Yeah, I
council.
want to see him.
So you want to see Hinlar Tot.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Killen
okay.
Tarov was not part of the council, but he was the head dean. There's 2 of them in that city.
Yes, I
Whatever one
wrote,
said
I wrote
you
down
can
the wrong
smuggle all
name.
the
That's
shit.
why I'm.
No, it's okay. So
I wrote down his name.
It was a while.
But I wrote down a different city.
yeah,
or
it's fine.
whatever.
So basically, you showed up, and where you teleported, you were in like a branch of the academy. Killen Tarov was who met you. And he was like, hey, welcome to the branch. Oh, you're a scholar scribe. Absolutely. and you told him what you wanted, and he was like, "That's a tall order. You know who you should go talk to? You should go talk to the court advisor. That's under contract from the Academy for the King.
Yes.
His name's Himmler Tot. He can be found there." And then
I
you were
did
like,
realize
"Oh, I'll go talk to him." And then you went and talked to him, and he's like, "Break the fucking law." Literally nothing is more important than the Arcane's expeditions. Who gives a shit? Just smuggle away on some pirate ship and get there. And you were like, "Really?" And he's like, "I don't fucking care.
He's like, dude, who gives a shit?
I don't give a shit." He's like, "I'm not the law. I just advise the king. I'm not the king. I don't give a fuck." So that's the tiefling.
Yeah, I like that guy.
You want to talk to that guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's cool as fuck.
I just want to make sure that's fine. That was the guy that you did see on the council who like remarked when he saw you. He was like, last time he talked to you, you were like, "I need to go here to research an archaeological dig." And then the next time he saw you, you had the headmaster with you. So, weird. You ask around. Roll me an investigation check for the meme. Severely just for the meme.
Oh God. 13. Given my
a little
investigation,
while.
that's amazing, actually.
It takes a little while. You do find him. He is procuring in like a faculty lodge some food and garb. He seems to be in between classes of some form or some form of legislative duty. It's hard to tell. Sees you approach you.
I just kind of walk in. I'm like,
I will not lie. It's interesting to see you after all this time.
yeah.
More interesting to see you with previous headmaster Valax. I thought you were on an expedition for forgotten goods.
Yeah, and I just happened to run into Varax out there.
In the Concord, you said, right?
Yeah.
You ran into... he chuckles. Nah, well, it is great to have you back. Unfortunately, I will only be in the academy for a couple days, and then I must return to my post.
Well,
But does something puzzle you? You seem to have sought me out. Don Dish Soap. This stream is sponsored by Don Dish Soap.
Luck Point is sponsored by Dawn Fish Soap.
And Quilipta.
What?
How long is this fucking ad? 7 fucking
Quilipta is the prescription
Quilipta.
medicine used for the
and
I was reading that.
more just to catch up and say thanks for being, a good advisor.
I have done my best to gain the notoriety I have. Thank you for being a good research scribe of arcane curiosities. And
Something like that.
wrangler of headmasters. It has been a pleasure. Your name will be known one day, and I will be sure to know that I knew you before your great ascension.
Great ascension. I like that.
I'm sure you do.
I like that. All right. I'm just gonna kind of laugh as I walk up. Great fucking ascension. Oh yeah, baby. I'm gonna make it one day, baby.
Calfane and Milner, is there anything you want to achieve in the next...
I just want to read those books. That was it.
I'd probably
Like
read
books?
an odd book or two, but nothing important.
Okay.
I will do one more thing,
Okay.
and then I will kill time. Can I go to the library?
You go to the librarian.
Mr. Librarian,
Librarian says, yes.
do you have any books on beings of the Golden Mountain?
Beings?
May it be an M or... Well, I don't know what you guys call it here, but we call the Life Mother.
I could look, but the Golden Mountains is a very densely populated area with an insanely differentiation of cultures. And you were looking for which name?
Well, I'll try to call it the Life Mother.
I
Yes,
will
you
do my best to
I
see.
don't know if you saw it.
And he peruses through his books.
I clutched that way.
I got it before.
Considering it was 00021, it was pretty impressive that I clutched it.
I've had a couple.
Not that I can tell, unfortunately. Not any scholarly articles or research expeditions that have come back with a name similar to that of the Life Mother you speak.
Any on Nam's Fang?
I can check. Give me but a moment. Anam's Fang. He returns. Well, there are some sections in some of my books about Anam himself, as well as certain offspring and deities of which that have spurred off him, but none of this Fang you speak of.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, Roller, go back to kicking, screaming, crying,
I want...
throwing a pouty fit.
Sure. While you read these books, by the way, Calfane, they, weirdly enough, they seem very academic in their presentation, and devoid of the substance that you were hoping for. You have a very intimate knowledge of Lolth. You have a very real hands-on definition of the horrors that she has sowed, the matriarchs under her power, and what they would do to please her. The level of veracity and devotion that rivals some of the greatest clerics and clergymen of your time. And these books approach her as just another god, just another person on paper who is worshipped by people. It does describe that
Which, like, she's obviously much worse than
the drow revere her, at least especially in the capitals of the city. But
bitch.
there's very little described in here about things that you don't know. It's mostly very surface level, like she exists. This is what a lot of the people do. Like if you're in the inner circles, it's very hard to get information because you don't just kind of stroll into the drow capital of the Underdark and fucking vibe. It's very surface level. It does describe that she still embodies the symbol of the spider. That her rule is still adamant and there are still devotee followers, and she is the primary Dark Saldarine pantheon god in the Underdark to this day, underneath Eltirin.
So it's like, it's all shit that I already knew.
I mean, you knew a lot, so yeah. I mean, you lived it for the most part, so it's like some dudes... I mean, if you live in an Ethiopian village and then some dude comes and writes a 3-page essay about Ethiopian culture, there's not going to be a lot in there to really glean about your own life living, you know, your lifestyle. So
That's actually a fair point.
yeah, I mean, there's definitely information there. They're like, oh yeah, that's a good reminder, and like you understand it, and it's written in a way that's palpable and very intricately and intentionally written in a way to like be severely factual and neutral and like, you know, scholarly and in a way that's articulated for education and understanding. But because it's written in that way, you're like reading it and it's like subjugates. No, they murder people. No, subjugate. They murder people. And then there's other verbiage in there where you're like, they don't oppress. They kill. That's what they fucking do. They rape, pillage, and destroy. That's what they do.
And they turn people into fucking monstrosities.
Yeah. So I mean, it is very. The book to other people would seem quite intricate, but to you it seems overall
pretty bland.
Pretty surface level.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, just that you would know.
I've been there.
Yeah, you would know more.
I know more.
So unfortunately, you don't glean from the 2 books that he had given you much about, other than the pantheon like religious structure that you do know about. And I could refresh those names for you, but like the structure of like Lolth and who was born from Lolth and etc. So, which you would know because you're a follower of Illustrate, who's directly in conflict with Lolth based on the father.
So when you say like who was born from Lolth, you just mean like
the familial tree that created the Drow pantheon, and after the split from
Illustrate and then her brother. I don't remember his fucking name.
There's like 8 of them.
There's 8 of them.
There's a lot. Not all of them are related, but it's a whole ass fucking.
It is its own pantheon.
It's a whole ass thing. Because like the split itself was like already like, because there's like primary Dark Saldarine and non-primary Saldarine, but the split was like when Lolth was like exiled from the standard because she was originally an elven goddess, and then they were like,
the Drow were originally just normal elves.
So there's a lot in there, and it just kind of goes over the surface level like structure of like when do people pray to these certain people during what times of their life. But as you know with Lolth, it's kind of like an all or nothing deal. By like 90% of any form of religion in the Underdark is under Lolth's control.
And even if you give your all,
she'll still fucking kill you.
She'll still fuck you over
at
any chance she gets.
It's very surface level to you, but maybe not to others.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. A day passes. You partake in what is the standard comings and goings of the academy.
Try to hit up some classes, you know.
Yeah.
Fill the
You can
time.
sit in some lectures. While you leave to sit in lectures, you
Try and pick some things up.
twiddle your thumbs. The anxiety, the blood, the tinge of what's on the cusp plays tricks on your mind. But otherwise, you don't experience any ailments or symptoms of this. It's just getting ready to play in a varsity game of football. Like, you're sitting on the sidelines like, I'm supposed to be top seat right now, but I'm on the bench, and that's weird.
Fuck!
Yeah. But you know your time's coming.
The fuck, guys? This is weird.
You do sit through some classes, but a lot of them are for students in the sense that it's like the history of the arcane. It describes certain standard practices, the proper use of, you sit through a couple lectures that are from the most entry level to quite advanced, where they're training people how to try to augment reality, like teleportation magic, time magic, things that even you have yet to fully achieve, because that shit is fucking up there. Like, the most baseline form of teleportation magic that's like real teleportation is teleportation circle, and it's like a 10-minute only to telephone poles. It only goes up from there. Like, that's the ground floor. Short-term teleportation like Misty Step and Dimension Door are like augmentations of the place of your reality. Like, for a moment, you're actually just walking through another realm. True, like, is like fucking Verex level. So you like, that's them like teaching the introductory of that, both teleportation and time magic, like time stop, and just the understanding of how powerful magic can be. And so there's this wide variety of like the course that students take to get to an extent. So it's fulfilling. It's very it's cool. I mean, it really is. There's a lot of work that has gone into this academy to be this world's version of like the perfect, completely neutral university. Like, history is what it is. It is history. They're not people where they're like, oh, we need to be diverse and learn from the past. Like, no, this is what happened. We don't give a fuck. This is the knowledge and the factual evidence of what occurred. We don't give a shit. You learn from it or don't. That's the whole point of it. That's why the Scroll Keeper exists. That's why we have this facility here, is to hold dear everything that's happened, both verbally and non, for the future. A day passes. Another day passes. You sit on. This is over the course of days that you sit on. From fucking firebolt to I'm gonna stop time. Like, there's like these crazy differentiations in magic that you see.
Sure.
Another day passes. You enjoy your room, and obviously you have both access to the, like, you are treated as equals from the entire school faculty, all of you. There is no place you can't go. There are times when you don't get room service and you leave, and people are like, "Holy shit, it's them!" All right, we're fucking, they weren't. Varix and Dominus weren't lying when they announced to the school that you were to be treated on equal footing with the council. Like, you are considered revelry in this facility, above that of even just a faculty member.
Sorry, the boys get the fucking treatment. Hell yeah.
Third day
We love to
passes.
see it.
On the fourth day, you're partaking in a class, and you just now return in the early afternoon to the room. You find your compatriots sitting around, tending to themselves. You all enjoying what should be a normal afternoon. Nothing really out of the ordinary that has occurred. You okay? Oh, there's just
Yeah, no, you're good.
there seems to be a little commotion you hear, and in your room you hear the voice of Dominus. He says, "If you could make your way to the lobby for a moment, we have a predicament to discuss."
Well, to the lobby, boys.
Say, we'll be there momentarily.
You
Shout it into the ceiling. I have no idea where it's coming from.
You make your way down, and you see at the front of the doors, the giant doors that lead into the spire, it opens, and you see people come in. Mages, just like the ones that were guarding the bridge upon your entry 5 days previous. They seem to be covered in soot, dirt splashed on their face. One of them actually holding his hand bandaged up. The other two seem mostly unscathed, and then there's a third, which is of dwarven descent, where the top half of his shoulder and a little bit of his neck seems to be chewed out from his person, like it was bitten off.
Ooh.
They come in, and as soon as they come in, you see Suvara, the woman that was conversing with Verax upon your arrival. Giant fucking hat, conversing and giving out slips of paper to 5 other individuals who kind of bow their head and they ready their wands and staves and prepare themselves and then leave the spire, and the doors close behind them and latch. Dominus sees you now enter the lobby, and he sees you all approaching, and he bridges the distance. Things have been... well, we have reports that the creatures that have seeped out of the rift are spreading. I only brought you down here to make you aware that when you leave, please notify us. We'll have to breach headway through to allow you access. There has been multiple incursions on the front gate. I assume due to the magical energy that we've amassed here that they have a taste for it. Either way, we will maintain the walls to be safety and sanctum. I just wanted to let you know ahead of time that do not leave without proper authority. I would not want to see you harmed on your exit.
Well, thank you, sir.
Of course.
We will let you know. I'm just waiting on.
Does anybody need tending to? I saw the
Yeah.
door
If
keys.
you-
I can help heal.
Please.
I'll take one. You take the...
Yeah.
He points you to Savara, the woman. And as you approach, once again, a beautiful maiden, but very modest in her presentation. She's very soft. I can't do a soft-spoken voice of that, but she's very, she's very soft. And she says, "Excuse me."
Yes. I'm here to help. So do I see the wound?
The people are walking away, and she like whistles at them and snaps and brings you over to them and says, take a seat. And they're not like, these people don't look fearful. They don't look distraught. They don't look like victims of war. The dude obviously is in a severe amount of pain. They look like monks of like tranquility, like they took an oath. Like they're like, damn, that was shit, but that was what was asked of me and I did it. Like that's the fucking job.
Yeah.
They do not even give the hint of like, damn. They're like, fuck, that was physically exhausting. I just worked a 12-hour shift at the ball crushing factory. I know I gotta go back tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they see you approach, and you do see the 5 people entered. 2 of the normal ones had left. Those were the ones that looked fine. They've been giving reports, and you see them in the crowd. There's whispers in the crowd, but you do see the 3 people there. Bloody, one hand's bandaged. The other guy just seems scuffed and beaten and bruised, and then the third guy's missing. The dwarf is missing a chunk of his fucking trapeze or whatever the fuck it's called. His traps. Yeah. They're right in front of you, and he kind of just looks up at you.
Come here, son. I put my hands out to him. I'll lay on hands for. I don't remember how much.
You can fully dump your load. I have a plan for the other 2.
I mean, yeah, I got a lot of spell slots. I mean, we're not really doing anything.
For some days.
I'll lay on hands for 50.
Fuck. All right. Obviously, you can't regrow the chunk of flesh that's missing.
I mean,
But
like in my head, I'm
immediately-
like, I want to regrow it, but obviously, I
You
can't.
immediately, the flesh almost begins to emulsify into a mass.
Doing clicking.
And you create a full bridge of like, you basically give this dude straight up plastic surgery. You're
Yeah.
like, "Nah," and you close the entire wound as it like kind of emulsifies over into a solid hunk of scar tissue for now. And he takes a reprieve and he like,
Are you feeling better? Let's
Fuck!
let's bandage that up. Be as safe as you can. I imagine you'll probably be sent back out. I'm sorry for that, but
no, that was phenomenal.
I will
start wrapping
cast
bandages around him.
mass healing word on the other 2
Okay. Roll me healing, please.
at 6th level.
Okay.
So that is 44 plus 5. Jesus Christ.
You would have lost your other.
Ooh, bad roll.
Yeah.
Alright, we got 1.
I'll just tell Dominus, like,
4.
yeah, I'm just kind of waiting on this thing from Incantor that I asked for,
8.
blah, blah, blah. Once that's done, like, I'll let you know. That's
12
that out.
plus 5. So 17 hit points for both of them.
Okay. Good to know. They let out a very visible sigh of relief from masculine word. That's funny.
Masculine.
Masculine
Yeah.
word.
I left that in the video because I was like, what the fuck? They let out a very visible, like, they don't go anywhere, they don't dissipate, they give you a very solemn thank you. As they begin to, one of them has a pouch of spellcasting materials that he sifts through and begins to count, like, oh, like I have the necessary components for my spells. The other one holds like a little medallion near his chest. It's not a religious iconography. It is the sun, like the sun moon that represents the Stolarm Academy. And they just sit and they give a small verbal.
Are you guys good?
Is everybody good?
Much better than before, thank you. The
You
dwarf's
need-
like,
If you need more, let somebody
even,
know.
Even one of us know for sure.
Yeah.
it's appreciated. Thank you. Savara bows her head and he goes, allies of Verax for good reason.
What can I say with the goats?
The goats. Are you of
We try our best
sheep
to.
descent?
We're not the goats. We're the
We're
brothers.
not of the magic ilk, but we'll try to help out as best we can as long as we're here. So
I
if
am
you
not
need,
one to
if
shy
anybody-
away the divine if it saves countless life.
if others need healing, you know where to find us.
It's been appreciated. Thank you.
We'll be here for a
Of
while.
course.
She continues like
More
trying
days.
to ready up this small clipboard basically of whatever she's obviously in charge of something to do with this
Yeah.
entire thing. Otherwise, they seem fine. You return to your what do you want to do? I mean,
Probably.
If I
Honestly, after seeing that, I think Molnir would probably stay down there and be like, "If there's more, I'm fucking right here."
Yeah,
Just,
Right here.
just
I'm good. I'm good.
I can cast Cure Wounds.
as
Howard.
the hours
was
pass,
gonna say, just try to.
I'm gonna group people. You guys stay. Do you stay with Molnar and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, after the healing, it's like, what do I do now? I'll just, do what I've been doing for a week.
It seems that those individuals that leave stay out there for a large amount of time. Just before you retire for the evening, as evening comes, they enter, and another 5 are sent out. These ones did not seem to take any severe damage. They do talk to Suvara, and you do overhear as you're standing right by her, like on call, on call nurses that you two are. You hear them explain that there was 3 altercations that occurred over the last 5 hours. They were successful in dispatching the creatures. They are coming more frequently.
That's not a great sign. Gee, I wonder why.
But Suvara approaches you and says, please, get some rest. There'll be more to do tomorrow.
Okay. Did the 3 that came back need any healing?
No, they seem fine.
Yeah. Go to bed then.
You guys rest another day and another day as these excursions keep continuing outside the city, or outside the Spire gates, just across the bridge. Though nothing that they can't handle, sort of. It's still a stressful endeavor, as like there are injuries being sustained and you are there to assist. The worst of which was probably the bite, but you do see a man, a human that enters over the next 2 days that you... I'm assuming you'd spend the next 2 days, like when you're away.
Yeah.
I'm just not trying to take fucking 6
No,
hours.
you're good.
Over the next 2 days, you see a variety of injuries, both of you. The worst of which probably the second coming in, the young human man, definitely part of faculty. They're not sending students out there. These are like not teachers, but like member of the administrative staff, logistical staff, like people who are part of the academy infrastructure itself. They're not sending these fucking 14-year-olds out like Harry Potter to go fight the Death Eaters. Like this is not. These are like people who are almost borderline volunteering. Like, hey, this is part of the job. Like, protect the academy against all intrusion. But a human man, is like mandible was like ripped off. It seems that something had got just a little too close. And seeing that these are mages, when something gets close, it's bad.
Sucks.
And so you see like he got hit with some blunt object that tore the skin and his mandible was hanging, but you managed to reset it. He definitely has, an underbite now, but otherwise is healthy and gonna live a very nice life. Yeah, is gonna live a very nice life. Day 6 comes, and day 6 goes. Once again, multiple shifts are let out outside of the Spire gates. This is when things take a slight turn. The 2nd battalion of 5 that come back, only 4 return. Suvara immediately kind of stiffens and says, Avada, where is Demir? And he says, we needed to request an additional couple of people to assist us outside the gate so that we could retrieve his body. And immediately the Great Hall hushes. There's this isn't a place for students right now, because there's a difference between the entry lobby and then what is the common place where the bank was held and where you kind of go everywhere to centralize how you go beyond. And there's the faculty member that are kind of orchestrating this influx of it kind of looks like a very well-oiled refugee infrastructure where it's we don't put this process this work order into effect very often. Yeah, they don't. It's very obvious they don't put this procedure into effect very often, but they practice it, and it's like a fucking well-oiled machine. 5 come in, they do their shit, they make the report, they go back into the pool, they send 5 fresh bodies out, and it's hey, you're on guard duty. Fucking, we don't do this, but you have to. And as soon as that 4 come back instead of the 5, the well-oiled machine immediately begins to not be oiled anymore. There is a form of panic that begins to grip the people. There's no words, and there's not visible panic. It's not all for yourself, they can't kill us all, throw a chair into the crowd. There's just silence.
Is it pretty obvious what's going on? It's me and Molnir being so close.
That there's a guy missing?
Well, no, just the tension.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Can I ask the guy who's talking to her?
I mean, you can be there. I would
ask
assume
him how far out the body is?
It's about 15 feet past the gate, the ridge.
Well,
I just started walking up that way.
He bows his head and Savara's, you two, with me. And she notions to 2 of the other mages that were in the pool of rotation to follow, and then she follows you.
And I... invisible.
You blink out of reality.
To the gate.
As you do, they still follow in your stead. The 3 of them, Suvara and the 2 individuals. You walk. This is the first time being outside since your arrival 5 days ago. As you walk over, you hear the crashing waves from below. As you're literally standing over the ocean, the bridge is this translucent crystal etherealness that they have constructed to allow passage. It's serene, and God, it's just beautiful. And then you make the mistake of looking up. You couldn't fucking help yourself. Your eyes trail, and the scar is larger. It seems to have taken a pretty heavy anchoring into wherever it was, and is now a very visible landmark of the horizon. But what gets you is the feeling, the ambiance is off. You feel this way when you talk to your deity from before, or even current. You feel this grip on your person, and then for a moment it hits you, for just a hair, you think, what's the point in going on? You can't succeed. You snap out of it for a moment. You continue on. You, Suvara, and the 2 others ascend to the end of the gate. Roll me a Constitution saving throw. Or a Wisdom saving throw. Sorry. Or wisdom saving throw, please.
8.
Natural 3.
Ooh. Love to see it.
You approach the end of the ridge. And the heroicism that you had felt up to this moment of, similar to even your clan beforehand, or how you held yourself with your compatriots of like, battle is battle.
This feels like the pool.
It is worse. You get to the edge, and what you see is not this bloody battle of dead soldiers. You see one fucking guy. You see one dude, half elf of descent, blonde hair. It's braided behind the ear. He has a small tattoo that kind of trails off his left eyebrow that goes down to his chin. Pretty, colloquial, standard. Doesn't seem overall even that interesting of a person, really. It's just a guy. He sits, his hair beautiful, unfettered by the dirt and grime. Arms crossed. He seems to have sustained a substantial blow right to his upper collarbone. Sorry, this side, where his heart would be, just above it. It seems to have been, once again, some form of blunt object. He looks so peaceful. It looks inviting. It looks that you will share the same fate as him one day, and you're jealous that he gets to go out in such beauty, because you know it awaits you. It's failure. You have nothing to look forward to. There's nothing out there for you. But just beyond him is, my God, the most ridiculous sight of what is easily 30 to 35 of the sludge of Bodax and the sorrow-sworn beasts with the hooked hands. And you actually see something you do recognize as well, a displacer beast. You've read about it, your clansmen have talked about it. Form of panthers that are shadowy in nature that make them hard to hit. Easily 30 to 35 corpses of these creatures. Some decaying into sludge from days past, others fresh. You can smell the kind of sulfurous, moldy, muddy scent coming off their body. And even though you were heroic in the moment, you can't bring yourself to take a step forward. Safara doesn't know where you are, but there's a moment of delay as you are completely suffering by the fear condition, where she will take the initiative and she steps out. The two men immediately setting up what would be a Roman palisade shield. They conjure up literal fucking magical barriers and scour. You do hear chittering in the woods beyond, as you know that the opening here is only so far, and there's shrubbery that goes out as you're on the cusp of the Howling Spire. So there's a little bit of tree, a little bit of shrub, a little bit of bush, but otherwise it's kind of a plainy area. But all this carnage is within 80 feet of the bridge. She walks out and sees the body and says Demir under her breath. Casts the spell to assist her and lifts him. And begins to walk towards the bridge.
Seeing them pick it up, can I not help them?
You see her approach you, and you just can't. Roll me another wisdom save. You just can't shake it.
Okay, 15.
15. You're not able to breach the bridge. However, as soon as she steps back onto the bridge, finally within 10 feet of you, you're overcome with the beauty of this man. The tranquility of his passing, and the despair does grip you. But for a moment, you kind of clench onto something that you've never held dear as a belief. And for the first time, it strikes you for a moment that maybe his teachings aren't that bad, that you're grateful that you survived. you have a moment of survival really is all that matters. Everything else is extra, right? It's fleeting. The world is nothing. There's nothing but despair, failure, and death that awaits you. But you live another day, and you manage to, whether you choose to become uninvisible or not, reach out for the body to assist in its lift. And she feels the weight of it like kind of removed from her as you now hold the creature.
Huh. I ask her, are we within the gate now?
You're on the bridge. You still have to walk back to the spire.
I'll wait, and I'll just get him back to the...
You begin walking back. The two individuals that came with you are left to fend for themselves outside of the bridge, to hold the line, so to speak, while they usher in whatever is necessary to get another, out of the pool of people that are there, back.
I'll whisper to her, do you feel that too?
I'd be concerned if I didn't. I can almost taste it. The sadness. She continues on. Roll me an Arcana check, by the way.
This fucking thing, dude.
Natural 20?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Bad.
Bad, great.
It's obvious that this woman, though she doesn't seem to, up to this point, hold any level of authority in the academy, she's garnered the respect of Verax for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's very obvious in the way she holds herself, but also just what you feel of her aura. She's not a Joe Schmo.
Yeah, she's
and,
shit.
And you pick up on this trepidation from her when you ask this question.
And I'll ask her, how long do you give us to survive out there?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Uh, 17.
17. You're strong. You've seen battle. A lot of the people in the academy have not. I'm sure you'll fare just fine. Her head is somber. Roll me an insight check, please.
Wow.
Dude, bam.
Here's the thing. She's lying to you. You don't believe it either. How could you survive out there? You've seen what it just did to this young, in the prime of his life man. You're a failure of bygone times. 2, 3 failures led you to this point. Your own strength wasn't enough. You had to piggyback off another, and then that failed. How do you expect to go out there and live? And you approach the gate, and it opens. You enter, and you walk through that veil. There's this thin, mucusy membrane that's on the other side of the bridge, with like a purge, almost like an anti-magic field, but the opposite, like an amplify magic field. It's definitely like an abundance of enchantments that they have put on this place to inhibit ability for people to just teleport in or to augment the minds of others. And as you walk in, you immediately come to yourself. Once again, just that despair still lingering and seeding doubt, but not to the same extent. You take a moment and you see her as well kind of brush it off, and we'll find a way to succeed.
Yeah.
She goes back to her group of people and begins to facilitate an emergency, another 5 to let the others that were out there lend assistance. You do have the body, and Dominus approaches, and he has now been called down here after all the commotion. You see Rolger enter with the corpse of this braided half-elf individual. Dominus takes the small man. He's very tiny in comparison to your size. Maybe 5'6", a whopping 2.5 feet, shorter than you. It's not very difficult to carry him. Dominus has this sour look on his face. It's just disgust. Just utter... It's not even anger, but there's something eating at him. And he just lightly and gingerly takes him from you and bows his head. Thank you. It's appreciated. And he turns.
I won't say that to him. Fuck.
Can I walk up to Dominus as he's carrying away and ask him? I know this is tough, but do you want me or Calfane to give them the last rites?
I appreciate it, but no. He was, like me, a man of knowledge and scholarly discovery, and I will record what is necessary, and he will be given a proper place to be buried near in the Undercroft.
I understand.
But it is appreciated.
I understand. May his soul rest in peace.
I appreciate your kind words, but
Of course.
if you need me, I will be around. And he continues on. Nothing.
I'm gonna then turn to Roll and be like, what was it like out there?
Remember the pool.
Yes, I do.
If this doesn't get solved soon, monsters don't have to do anything, they'll just kill themselves. And then I will march back to the room.
March back to the room. When you get to the room, were you down there with him? Would you like to be part of
I
it?
imagine that I would have
Yeah.
meandered.
Yeah.
I would probably went.
I had assumed so. If you heard something was going on in the academy, I'd assume.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, y'all get back to the room at a similar time. When you enter, there is a package in the center of the room. It has a small note on it, written in just fucking horrible shorthand. It is illegible.
Thanks. Yeah, that's.
Someone roll me an intelligence save.
Wait, I can read it.
No, you can. You can understand language. It's written in common. You think
I can read anything.
you can read any language. This more so is hieroglyphic.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Alright, who's rolling? You rolled?
16.
16 is enough. It says, 1 day early, winky face.
One day you're gonna come early.
God, this is unlegible.
It's written. It's literally 4 words. 1 day early, smiley face, and it's written over a note card this fucking big, and it's like scrawled.
Is there anything under
He
the
writes
message?
like this.
Like, is there 2 messages, one older one, and one newer one that's carved on top of that one? Or
No,
is it more?
just that on a
Just
little
that.
package.
I didn't owe it anything. I assume it's for you.
I think I'm the only one that ordered anything here.
Oh.
It's
I'll
a
open
fresh
it up.
pack of
Show
donuts.
us what it is.
It's fucking. You open it, and it is. It's this. It's pretty sizable. It's a.
Okay.
It's not like a fucking little medallion. It's like a fucking sizable placard, of etched in fine woods and in precious metals, the insignia of the dragon that allows you to use it as a central casting apparatus for that spell. It is attuned. It almost hums like a sounding rod, just picking it up is like. I know exactly what you're thinking.
Him
but,
and I both raised an eyebrow.
It didn't. Those are real things before.
I
your
know.
fucking-
I was just giggling. He made the noise.
Okay. It's a penis. They're sounding. So he's sticking. It's a giant metal
It's
rod.
a dragon.
going
Gut!
into the urethra.
It's a dragon that's
Must
sticking
be
a rod into its own dick.
Yeah.
That.
It is a dragon, and it does him. Not like arcanely, like it's not intrinsically magical. It is a conduit, and it really does just feel like a perfectly tuned guitar. Like it's like you touch it and you're like, it's like perfect. But you can add the 500 gold talisman to your
Thank
inventory.
Fucking God.
Damn.
That allows you to cast a spell that you want.
One spell.
I got the spell.
Not pretty cool.
I got the spell.
He gets to cast a spell that he almost gave an arm for.
I got the spell the first time we came to the academy.
This is
I've been
completely
able to use it
separate.
once.
This spell is
There's
I
like
have not used it.
There's
As
a
a-
lot of spells that I've had to give up on because the requirement's like 1,500 fucking gold.
yeah, this one was 500. He paid the piper. You had a little bit of discount because you're not like paying a retail. You know, they obviously gave you a fucking
How much was the discount?
100 gold.
100
He paid
gold.
400 gold to have this made, to have it commissioned over the course of a
Wow,
week.
out of your 3,000?
Man, it must
Okay.
be nice to have.
What would I
more.
add? Dragon.
You can honestly just add a custom item and just
Yeah.
fucking copy and paste what the like actual name is for it because I didn't look it up, but I know it is like the weird talisman. Otherwise, you guys find yourself in the room.
Are you coming right now?
I was just about to say,
Go ahead.
Roger, you've shaken it off now, and you now see in this moment. I mean, that had a grip on you. You haven't had a grip on you like that since you were on death's door many years ago at the hand of someone special to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the true revisitation of what you believed to be the end of your line, what you feared the most. You know, not being able to exact the revenge you want before it's gone. You've shaken it off, and you now stand among your peers, the people who care for you so deeply, but a little shooken. And this is visible to you. You know, a bead of sweat on his nice pale ashy forehead.
Which is usually.
And I want to give you guys a moment to talk amongst yourself before you bed down for the evening.
So what did you feel out there? You never really answered me. What did you see?
Death. Certain death. It's not the creatures that I fear, it's our own minds.
Is somewhat what I feared.
It's going to be quite the trip.
Riff.
We're used to quite insane trips. I would say. I don't know if anything like this, but I'm just saying we've been through a lot as a party.
That rift.
This is going to suck.
It is, but I have full faith that we'll make it through it together as a group.
I fear that rift made. Well, was it larger?
Yeah.
It had visibly grown. Over the course of what was 8 full days, because
Yeah.
you were in
Yeah.
for
It
2
makes
and
up
then
a
you stayed
solid
for
chunk
6.
of the horizon, you said.
It was like you looked up and like it's like what I think it's 100 and I mean what, so 200 175. Wait, what's half of 200? 100, lol. It's almost exactly 100 miles away from you. 100 miles, and it took up like 20% of your visible field.
I think that maybe
Like but it also is it's in the sky, right? So it's a little bit different than like, oh, it's a big building. You know, it's you're not actually like seeing shit come out of it. It seems to be the byproduct of what's under it, if that makes sense. Like the sky is blackening because whatever is down there is causing the split.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes up. It's
If it's that much bigger within 8 days, I fear that It may take up the whole plane before we reach Casdral.
I think
Huh.
that it might be worth taking care of now.
It's like that's what I was a little worried about.
Well, I was worried about it, but I didn't think it would grow that much within that short of time.
I kind of did.
I don't think
Well,
the
it's
academy
only-
is going to be.
It was quite large when you originally got there.
Yeah, it was huge.
It's not like it
Everywhere
tripled
just,
in
like,
size.
gray?
What?
When I went outside, is everything just gray?
It was less vibrant. That's for sure. It wasn't mono grayscale.
But the transparency is down.
I don't think
the saturation has been lowered
Saturation
in
lowered.
Adobe Photoshop for sure.
I don't think that the academy is going to be of much help. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
The,
I think they're
the
too caught
problem
up
is
in.
obviously
I think they're too caught up in government politics,
Yeah, they're
and
and they're too indecisive at this fucking point.
I think that it might just be us on our own, which we faced down that entire jungle on our own. I don't doubt that we can do it.
that jungle is minute in comparison to that rift.
But it's like, what do we do to the fucking rift?
What do you do?
Was
What do we
there-
what do we do when
What
we
else
get
was
there?
out there?
We'll throw a firewall at it.
Was there like bodies of the
You talked about
Bogox
Rokosh
and
or whatever
that sort of
his
thing
name
out
was.
there?
Rotting away?
How many?
40, 50, 60.
You've talked about
Just
Rokosh.
outside.
Yeah,
What did he do to close
Went
it?
into it.
he fucking went in.
And then it closed.
The nomad went into it and it
Now that
closed.
portal was this big.
Yeah.
So maybe if the four of us go in there, it'll close then.
I mean, I'm prepared to do what I must to save countless lives.
This rift is becoming more of a problem than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
It seems like this might
it
be.
seems like it's kind of unavoidable.
It
at
seems
this
like this
point.
might be a term in terms of like the end of the fucking world, or
Yeah, that's kind of like what my fear was like, hey man, this kind of seems like a big deal.
and that's
Like, that's why I literally went to the guy and went, listen man, what are the odds of us even fucking getting to the gold?
That- yeah,
Mountains?
that's
this
where,
seems like crazy.
that's where I've been since we left fucking Russia. I was like, this rift is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it's getting worse, then it's definitely like, no offense to like your whole thing, but it's like I feel like that because it was like it was number one, and then it's like, yo, dude, divine calling, but then this is kind of taking
This
back.
is like, hey man,
this
you
is like,
won't even have a chance to get to your divine calling.
I was gonna say this
Yeah,
is
you
like
don't have a
this is
God.
immediately taking back the number one spot in terms
What?
of priority. It's like it wasn't. It was like number one and then number two, and then it immediately took that number one spot back because it's
Problem
like
is, warning can take away my divine energy.
well, I don't.
I asked him about the rift and the prayer, and he said, "You know what you have to do." Whether that meant close the rift
Act
or
now, pray for forgiveness.
take back the Cosrel and the Crusade.
Well, that's.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh shit!
It's gonna be like
Warden's cool.
Morden straight up
guys
just like,
forgive
fuck
us
you,
then.
dog.
Ask for permission.
Level 1 Paladin of Devotion.
Hey, Mom, man.
dude, that is so fucking. Oh my god.
That was fucking alright.
That's not good, boys.
What?
He was like, check your phone, and then Mason checked his phone and said, oh my god!
And as you
I
puzzle,
feel like that's. Hang on, that's so fucking.
as
Hang on, I pray fucking really hard.
as you puzzle
Come on.
over what the next steps are, that is where we'll cut session.
Dude.
Alright. It's been real. See you later.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah, boy.